Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Let them come.
Let them come indeed. Welcome back to Heartbreak Feels Good for another episode of what we watched for this time, November 2023. I'm Josh Woodbury, obviously. I'm here with my co-host, Evan Harris.
Glad to be here. I'm excited. November was fucking stacked. Stacked. This was a great month of movies. Probably one of the best of the year for me, at least. Watched a lot of great movies. My top 10 or 12 or so has switched. We always talk about how the end of the year is where we get a lot of the great films. November truly was the first start of that. October was as well, but November came in big time with a lot of Oscar contenders for me, and movies I've been waiting all year to see in theaters. And some I didn't expect to see this year, like Godzilla -1 was a movie I didn't even hear about until like summer, I think, when the trailer came out. And I'm like, oh, because usually for those Japanese films, I'm like, it's going to release in Japan and then we'll see it in America in like a year or so. But
honestly, I didn't know this film was coming out until like probably a month ago.
Yeah. So the hype grew and grew with that first trailer, and then I became obsessed with it. And then, yeah, I'll also talk about the Godzilla films I saw leading up to -1, because Nathan and I on My Cup of Tea watched some of the older ones as well, leading up to -1. But overall, Godzilla was great. And some other movies I can't wait to talk about were also deliciously great. What a great month for movies. Yeah.
A really great month. We'll also have our other co-host, Edgar Ortega, joining in just a bit. But for us, it's just now. Or for now, it's just us.
For us, it's just now.
Yeah. So do you want to start with some weaker films that Edgar hasn't seen?
Yeah, let's knock those out of the park. We both saw Wish.
Yeah.
This thing sucks. It's fun. This is 2 years in a row, Josh. 2 years in a row. Because you know what came out last November for us?
What?
For us Disney folks? Strange New World.
Oof. Strange World.
Strange World.
Star Trek.
Star Trek, which I love. One of the best shows of the year. Watch Strange New Worlds, Paramount Plus. Oof. Anyways, Strange World.
I watched that and never thought about it again. It really is like, I mean, I didn't hate it, but it was just so mediocre and so generic.
I hated it. Maybe because, you're much more of a Disney person than I am. You work for the anyways. But yeah.
I also watched it on Disney Plus. I didn't watch it in theaters.
So did I. Yeah, I forgot Strange New Worlds even came out on in theaters. But yeah, and Wish for me was like one where I was going to go catch it in streaming. I could have easily done that. It was between Wish or The Silent Night for me. When did I see Wish? Was it this Tuesday? No, last Tuesday. And I was like, Wish, Silent Night, John Woo, or Disney. You know what? I'm gonna go Disney.
Probably not the right pick.
Probably not the right pick. I'm trying to catch Silent Night because I love John Woo, even though I hear it's not that great. But John Woo is great.
I'm still interested. Yeah.
Exactly. But anyways, back to Wish. It's one of those Disney movies like Strange World where it's just so mediocre that I just think about it more and more. And I'm like, this is just not a great movie. First of all, it's flat as hell. There's no depth to this movie whatsoever.
So generic. It's like, it's the Disney formula, but like done so mediocrely, without much. I don't want to say without much care, because they probably did put care into every filmmaker does.
Yes,
but it just didn't feel inspired to me.
It didn't feel inspired, and the world building was very weak. For Disney, what really captures the magic of the truly great or even just okay Disney movies are the world building. Like, you can have a bad story, but have an interesting world, and you can become like captivated by it.
Arendelle, the Pride Lands,
exactly.
Even Corona from Tangled is interesting.
Exactly. Oh, I love Corona. Corona is very because
Yeah.
even Corona is not filled with that much depth, but it's beautiful and it has
If you
a
play
vast
Kingdom Hearts
amount
3,
of.
there's a lot more depth in it there.
Yeah, and then there's different locales and locations. You have the forest, the woodlands. Then you have the city
The
itself.
music, side note, but the music for Corona and Kingdom Hearts 3, oh, so good.
Magic,
Peak,
magic.
peak, as they say.
I've listened to like the Kingdom Hearts 3 soundtrack whenever I'm reading a book because the worlds in that game have some great just great music.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, this one is just you have your woods, you have your castle, but they don't feel that magical or interesting at all, even to the characters. It's just like, hey, I just live in the woods, and then that's it. And then I walk 5 steps and I'm in the city. But even worse for this movie is like the story. It's very disgustingly fast paced, which is weird, right? Like, you watch the trailers, right? The trailers is like, hey, there's like this magic evil dude who controls people's wishes, and I'm Arnon DeBose, and I don't like how he's hoarding wishes. And that's the movie. You're not missing anything by watching the trailer. And it's funny. Quick spoilers for Wish, even though 5 people that saw it. When the prince, not the princess, when the main character goes to see the prince or the king, there's a map behind him and is half burned. And he says, like, I started this because of a tragic backstory. I'm like, okay, they're cooking. We're definitely going to see the full picture of his backstory. What really drove him? Yeah, what really drove him to become like this? No, he's just bad.
he's just a bad little guy.
And again, it's okay. The great Disney villains are just bad people. Clayton, he's just bad. They're just bad. But
yeah,
their relationships, Scar and Mufasa, fantastic S-rank dynamic. Clayton in like the jungle, the essence of the jungle, great dynamic. Like
Gaston, he just wants a Belle.
Wants Belle, and you can really dig into that as you grow older. You can kind of dig into Gaston's whole characterization.
That's masculinity, yeah.
Exactly, right? For the king here, there's such a big opportunity to go into why he wants to hoard people's wishes. The idea that people can't search for themselves the wishes that they want, like they don't want to put in the work. There's something there. The theme is there in terms of like wishes.
Here's the thing about this movie. It's just so uneven for me because like there's some moments that like are pretty good. And there's some aspects of the story that are really interesting, and the whole wish thing is like I could see what they're cooking there. But like, it's just execution is not great, and like I think Chris Pine did a great job. I like that we actually have a Disney villain that's just a villain. Like there's no redemption arc. There's no like humanity aspect. Like we have a classic Disney villain again. That's cool. Yeah, but there's no depth with it, and there's no depth in the story. There's like. It's so fast paced and rushed.
That's like the weirdest part. It's like it's so fast paced. We don't have time to live in the characters' motivations, the characters' thoughts. It's just like, hey, I want to be this, but wait, my life has been turned upside down. My goal has been dashed. Now I must cry. Now I must unite the people against him. Game over. And it's just very like from A to B to C to conclusion, and that's it. With some musical numbers in between. Even the musical numbers, they don't really add to the theme of the movie. They don't add to like the setting. It's there.
Most of the music in the movie is like pretty fucking bad too. Like it's some of the worst Disney music I've heard in a while. But then we have that duet that Asha and the King sing, which is like one of the best Disney songs in years.
It's pretty dang good.
It's so good.
It's pretty dang good. That was the one.
That's the only good song in the movie, but it's really good.
It's very repetitive, but it's really good. And I kind of dug the King's monologue or the King's, whatever it was called.
The visuals in that scene are really good too. Like that whole aspect of that scene is really well done. But then the other musical numbers are pretty trash, especially the one where I forgot what it's called.
when they're all coming
starting to
together.
plan. Yeah, and
Yep,
the queen
yep.
shows up. That one's horrible.
It's funny. Me and you had the same brain because I'm like, that one was just
Yeah.
not with it. I can see where they
It
were
was
going
like
with it.
great value Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah. Yeah. It just didn't
What is
fly.
it? Knowing what I know now, like that song is so bad.
Yeah. Just
So
not
bad.
great. So yeah, the songs were uneven. In the comedy, not great. This donkey, whatever it was, the dog,
The lamb,
the lamb, yeah. Bad.
horrible.
Bad.
I love it, but like no.
It's like that one character in Elemental that people thought was like the main character, but it actually wasn't.
Yeah.
Like
The kid who
if
shows
that
up for like
character
2 minutes, but he's part of the advertising, like most trailers for some
exactly
reason.
like if that kid was in it the whole time, that's the lamb. That's the lamb. He was just in it, and the voice wasn't great. The comedy with
It
it
was in like
wasn't
2
great.
scenes.
It was so weird. I'm like, what happened to great Disney comedy? Man, it's crazy. People
I mean,
people are talking
we've
about
done it,
it's a
and
classic.
Encanto is pretty funny. Frozen is funny, has
Encanto's
funny
hilarious.
moments.
Yeah,
Raya, I
Frozen's
think, there's
great.
some good comedic moments. I actually like Awkwafina and Raya. I'm not a hater.
I'm with you.
People.
We're in the minority.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Raya is fun. I really like Raya.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, this was just a big miss and very disappointing. Very disappointing.
I mean, and also the art style. Like, I can see what they're going with, but it just feels half baked and like kind of awkward because they don't fully commit.
Yeah, it was like 2D, but also 2D mixed with some 3D
Like, some
elements.
scenes look great, but like most of it just feels awkward.
Yeah, it was interesting. I respected it, but I don't think they went the execution just wasn't fully there. Unfortunately, it didn't take me out as it did most people. I just I went with it. But I'm with you. It kind of was just it could have been better. But I like that even the Disney guy, not Iger, somebody else said like they're going to continue doing 2D stuff.
I hope so.
I hope so
more
too.
of it.
Yeah, we definitely do. So yeah, that was one of the big misses of the month. What else do we have here?
Do you want to go from miss to a big win with Priscilla?
Oh, let's do Priscilla. Yeah, when did I see
think Edgar's
Priscilla?
seen
I
that
saw
either.
that November 19th. Priscilla was really
November
good.
1st. November 1st.
Oh, nice.
No, wait, never mind. The 4th. It's still my first watch of the month, though.
Yeah, Priscilla's deep in November for me, the 19th. But yeah, I respected and I admired and I had a great time with Priscilla. I have not seen a lot of Sofia Coppola's movies. This might be my first.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, because I haven't seen the famous one she has.
Lost in Translation.
Lost in Translation.
Have you seen The Blaine Rain?
No, but
you need to watch that one.
Hermione Granger. Yeah, I need to watch that. But yeah, Priscilla was great. I think Kaylee Spaney really mastered portraying Priscilla throughout the years in terms of her going through adolescence when she's a little girl in high school to a young adult to being an adult and how her age. Yeah,
she disappears in those ages too. Like you do not realize that. Yeah, it just works so well.
And it's a very muted kind of movie, self-isolating movie where there's not a lot of locations. It's very much located in a lot of houses, and it really captures Priscilla's adolescence, right? Once she becomes enraptured in Elvis, it's a lot of like being alone, which is kind of interesting, right? Like Priscilla is all about her relationship. At least this movie is billed kind of as her relationship with Elvis. But a lot of the best parts is when you realize that she's more isolated than ever before, even though she is with Elvis. And I think that's captured with like how a lot of the movie she spent at home by herself or with other people. So it kind of lends itself to a great lead performance again by Kaylee Spaney. But the guy who played Elvis,
Jacob Elordi.
Jacob Elordi was fantastic as this new interpretation of Elvis. A very new side that hasn't really been captured a lot. More of a domesticated, not domestic, but just like more of a what you see behind the curtain kind of Elvis, through the lens of Kaylee Spaney's Priscilla. It's very much a female woman coded perspective here. And that's all for the better, I think, because it kind of gives you a unique take on Elvis and on their relationship and on their love, because their love is very complicated, very complex. And, you know, I think some interviews will say that, you know, she doesn't resent her past, right? Like she still enjoyed the time she had with Elvis, even though she knows what it was in terms of its toxicity and the negative aspects of
the
it, the grooming.
manipulation. Yeah.
Exactly. All those things can be true while also her saying, yeah, I had
Exactly. Yeah.
I love the time I had with him. Those two things can be true. I think the movie kind of did well executing that complexity. You can see how she also the love that was there, but also the negative side of that love. It was very tight rope, and I think Sofia Coppola did a really good job portraying that.
Yeah, that's why I think Sofia Coppola was the perfect choice for this film, because like she's such a assured director who like really deals with complexity and really puts so much care into that. And like you really need that for this story, for telling this perspective. And I think it works really well as like a companion piece to Baz Luhrmann's Elvis from last year. Because you see the like crazy eccentric like version of Elvis that we all know. And you see it's more muted, like more painted in more of a native light from Priscilla's perspective with Coppola's film. I think it's a really interesting relationship between those two films. And yeah, like you said, like Kaylee Spaney in this movie is incredible. I think she's one of the best performances I've seen this year. She does so much, and like across all different ages, and really, like we said, like just blends so well into the age she's portraying in that given scene.
Agreed. I think overall the pacing was solid. It got a little bit meandery towards the middle, but I loved the start of it. Her initial gravitation towards Elvis, her parents' reactions towards that was very, I don't want to say entertaining, but it's very eye-opening, and kind of like, wow, they're doing it. They're just, okay, cool. He's fine. He's a cool guy. It was very, again, eye-opening, and I was like, wow, okay. And then the ending, the way seeing their relationship deteriorate towards the latter years of their relationship was very interesting, because that was kind of what I was appealed by. I was like, okay, here's a gravitation. How does she start peeling away from him? And seeing that gradually happen across the movie was very interesting, and some of the best moments of the film. Those closing moments were really strong for me. So I had a blast with this movie. I mean, I wasn't like, yeah, this is great, but also like it was very good.
Rated soundtrack too.
Great, yeah, underrated.
Really well. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, exactly. Great direction, great shot. Yeah, loved it. Let's see what else we have here in the month of December. I saw Next Goal Wins.
Oh, okay. Haven't seen that.
Taika Waititi's masterpiece, Next Goal Wins. No.
Is he trying to win another screenplay Oscar? Who knows?
I think so. He's in the running.
Yeah.
No. This was okay. I give it 3 stars. It was fine. It's what you see is what you get, which was interesting because for Taika, you think you'd get a little bit more, I don't know, a bit substance and nuance. And people make fun of Taika these days, but you know, I really liked what he did with Jojo Rabbit and tackling an interesting subject matter, but filling it with some kind of substance and heart and humor. And this one has the humor in spades. It's a very funny movie, but I couldn't let go of it's very much a Ted Lasso comparison, but it lacks the heart of Ted Lasso. There's heart in terms of like him exploring the different members of the team, but the team isn't fleshed out too well. The dynamic with the coach isn't as fleshed out as it could be because it's too much reliant on the outsider comedy of it all. I think that kind of got stretched a bit too much throughout the movie. It's like, I get it. Okay, you're telling me
it's like
about
the first like 4 episodes of Ted Lasso, but the whole movie.
Yeah, basically. I was like, how much can you stretch out about the like?
Yeah.
the white guy being the new coach. Like we get it. And I think a lot more could have been mined from the team dynamic with the coach. Like it's there, but it's not there in terms of emotionality and connection. It's funny. It's a very funny film. But for me, it just lacked any kind of depth. There is one main character of the team, the woman that like kind of transitioned throughout the film, and her journey as somebody who's transitioning, but still in the men's soccer league. That's kind of very interesting. I think her character could also have been mined a bit better. But that was like easily the most interesting character because actually she has a good background and what happens to her in the future. But it's very much a run of the mill biopic in terms of like, oh, he's overcoming this hurdle. He's supposed to be learning more about himself. And there is a family aspect to Michael Fassbender's coach character that was kind of surprising, a surprising reveal. But even then, I don't want to spoil it, but even then, that could have been mined for some more substance. That could have been enlightening for his character. But in the end, it's a footnote. And it just seems like a very basic, run-of-the-mill biopic. They even do the black and white, and this is what's happening nowadays kind of text at the end.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh boy, this was a movie, and it was a fun Sunday afternoon movie I saw with my mom. Even then, she was like, "That was it, okay." I mean, like that's
crazy because like this movie was so, I don't know if anticipated is the right word, but there was so much drama and so much like hype, I guess, in the sense of like this movie's been in development for like so long because of the Armie Hammer stuff, because of this delays and COVID. Then this comes out and goes. Comes and goes.
Comes and goes. It's crazy. Yeah, people had it in terms of like Oscar contention,
Best picture, yeah.
Because it's a heartwarming tale, but that's it. It's just heartwarming, and you watch those movies all the time. Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Holdovers, we'll get to it later, but that's heartwarming. But there's a lot of depth there too.
Fantastic movie. So yeah, that's Next Goal Wins. Before Edgar joined, I could talk about some. Oh yeah,
I wanted to bring up before Edgar joins. I rewatched Invincible season 1.
Sweet. What'd you think? So did I.
Not as strong like as the first time I watched it, but still really fucking good. And I really like this version of the superhero origin story. Like obviously this show's like built to be really gory and like really mature, kind of like The Boys, but I feel like it has a lot more heart than The Boys.
That's the thing I love about Invincible. I rewatched it and I actually went the other direction. I kind of liked it a little bit more. Because for me, what I respect about Invincible compared to The Boys, and The Boys, for me, is not one of the best superhero shows of all time. It's really good.
Season 3, I think, is one of my favorite seasons.
Season 3 really good. I think
it's so good.
The Boys gets better and better for me.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful for a strong.
But it's also starting to get really repetitive too.
Yeah, it's like, and it's funny because Aaron, one of the main producers of The Boys universe, he's like, I just filmed the goriest season.
Well, he says that every year.
The best part about The Boys, and even Gen V, aren't the bloody sequences. It's the talking, it's the dynamics, the internal, craziness of Homelander that I just love. Season 3, Homelander was peak fiction. But anyways,
I still need to watch Gen V. That's on the list before.
Dude, you gotta catch it for the end of the year. It's gonna be on your top 10 list. I just wanted
to focus on Invincible first, then I might switch over.
Jalen and I watched Gen V weekly, and then we binged Invincible the week of season 2. But anyways, Invincible season 1 for me was really strong because I really liked the way Mark character really grows throughout the season. And I'm really
his arc is really good.
I'm really liking what his arc seems to be for season 2 right now. But I really like his current arc in season 1, how it was growing from a naive boy to like somebody with a lot of responsibility and dealing with a family drama. And I like his relationships with his friend, with Amber, with Eve, with William. That's friend William.
I think so.
It feels very natural. It feels very. It doesn't feel forced or anything. All his relationships feel very natural and human and earned. I love everything to do with Robot and Monster Girl. Fantastic dynamic. Great.
All the Cecil stuff. Cecil's like such an incredible character.
Cecil's the
like,
GOAT. The GOAT. He's so
then
good.
just all of the stuff they do with Omni-Man throughout the season, just that dread that wins over. Like we know he did it, but like why?
The best part of season 1 for me when I first watched it was like, does he know he did it? He did it?
Yeah.
Like, is he being mind controlled or did something happen? But to realize by the end of season 1, because I'd never read the visual novel, but like to realize the whole time that yes, he did, and he was just flat out lying was a big revelation to me because throughout it, he was hard denying it. And for him to come to terms with it, like, and just flat out say what he said to Mark in the penultimate episode and then in the season finale was one of the best character moments I've seen in a superhero show for me, because the way he's practicing his lines, then he meets Mark quicker than expected.
Yeah.
And then he has to deal with that while also dealing with the Zeus guy. I forget his name.
Then the scene in the finale when he talks about what's the mom's character's name?
Debbie.
Debbie, when
she's like
her pet. Jesus Christ.
Like, God, what are you telling me? And then Steven Yeun's whole emotional breakdown, just like, what did you just call her? Like, you're my father. What are you saying? Snap out of it. You're like, this is me, Mark. Like, you gotta listen. Like, oh my God. I think
so good. That finale is incredible.
Great dynamic. One of the best animated episodes I've ever seen, that finale. The way the whole dynamic just collapses. It's great.
Yeah. I also watched the Adam Eve special finally.
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 The highway sequence.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. It's really fun. Everything they do with like her origin story is really good. There's some good needle drops in there.
Great needle drops, yeah.
And it's fun. And I wanted to catch season 2 before we started this episode, but I only got to episode 1 of season 2.
What do you think of episode 1?
Really cool. And like the way Sterling K. Brown comes in there, and then his character is basically just Kane but better.
Oh wow!
Right? So am I right?
I mean, yeah, I like the multiversal. Yeah. I like the multiversal elements of his character and how it kind of flips it on its head towards the end in terms of like where this character was going and now where he's going. It's very ominous, and I'm very curious to see what happens next with that.
Yeah, I love the threads that they're sprinkling out. I can't wait to catch up more, and just I love seeing Mark and Debbie deal with this, like the aftermath. Their performances are really fucking good.
And yeah, and you've only seen one episode. I think Mark and Debbie's arcs, they have such strong parallel arcs that I did not expect this season. I expected them, to recover, have that kind of emotional arc. But Mark and Debbie in particular are going through two interesting interweaving roads in terms of how they deal with what happened with Omni-Man. And I loved it. I really love it. And I can't wait to see the second half of the season next year sometime.
Why do you think they did that? If it's only 8 episodes, why they split it in half?
I have to think production issues, animation issues.
They've had 3 years?
3
years.
It's weird. But I mean,
I don't mind it. It'll let me catch up. So
yeah, that's good. And
also the animation looks really good this season.
Animation has really grown.
Quality,
Animation has really grown. The character work is really strong. Again, I think the key players for so far for season 2 are Mark and Debbie, but also really like Eve's arc. You'll get to that, but Eve's arc is very interesting in terms of also interweaving with Mark's and what I
love what they're doing with Rudy so far in episode 1 too.
Robot, yes.
Yeah.
Robot is really good. He's still one of my favorite characters. Robot's
he's such a fascinating character. Yeah,
so fascinating. He's one of the most fascinating arcs for season 1 in terms of really diving into wanting to be a real boy, Pinocchio, motherfucker. But he's good.
Also, the Mahler twins just keep showing up. Not my favorite, but
they're great. I love it. They're very good. How do I describe it? Like pieces on the board. They function very well within the universe of Invincible. in terms of what their characters are supposed to be
That's
and
true.
what they add to it all. But anyways,
Edgar.
what's up, Edgar?
Hello.
How's it going, buddy?
Good. Just got here, and I see you guys are talking about Invincible.
Yeah.
Invincible, yeah.
Have you watched it?
Hey, have you gotten to it?
Yeah, but honestly, I don't even remember what was the last episode that I saw of season 2. I think the last thing that I remember.
Don't spoil too much.
No.
It's the underwater one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good episode. I think you're like 2 episodes or maybe 1 behind.
Okay, I'm gonna try and do it this week.
There's only 4.
I know. Yeah. 3 more.
Yeah. But and then we talked about Next Goal Wins, Priscilla, Wish, which was I wish it was better. Yeah.
You haven't seen Priscilla yet, right?
No, not yet.
Yeah. We talked about that too.
Now you get to watch it on Max.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'll try to catch it at the movie still. I think this is it's on its last week, so I'll try to catch.
LA really be not LA, but California be really extending your theatrical runs for your movies. Priscilla's been gone. There's no way I can see Priscilla if I hadn't already seen it.
What's the theater near you that has the most screens? Like how many?
I think it's the AMC's, like AMC Newport. If I go over the bridge into Kentucky, that has a lot.
How many
of
screens
theaters.
is it?
I don't know, like 18.
No.
16?
See, ours the most here is 30 screens.
30 screens?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's nice.
Yeah, I think it's like 18, 20. And then Cinemark even less in terms of actual theater room screens. I think it's 7 on each side, 14 or so, 16 maybe. Yeah. Wow. You guys have some big AMCs. But yeah, we can start from the beginning. Did you guys watch Fair Play?
Yeah, watched it. I think a couple of months ago at this point.
Yeah, I think did we talk about it last time? I forgot. I think
you two did. I have not. I had not seen it at that point. I finally caught it and I loved it. What a great story that just really increases in tension and complexity between the relationship and all right chaos, where I'm just putting my hands over my face during a certain scene at the end when all the tension is
argument
built up.
Scene.
Yeah, the argument scene, and even in the office when he kind of erupts, I'm just stop this, but also I can't stop watching. It's very much Succession coded. I'm just this is chaotic, toxic, crazy. What is happening? And then a fantastic final scene that I just loved. This movie really rocked my world. I had a great time watching it. Fantastic screenplay in terms of that evolution of their characters and what they really went through in terms of their workplace relationship and their real relationship and how that just flat out crumbled in the blink of an eye. Not in the blink of an eye, but yeah.
It's one of the most creative movies I've seen this year. And I think some of the best performances of the year too, with Alden and Phoebe.
Yeah. Great performances.
Yeah.
I had a blast watching this one. Yeah.
A Ryan Johnson production too. T Street.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Good job, T Street.
I think they also did American Fiction this year too.
Nice. Love to see it. But yeah, it's one of those movies I think you can easily recommend to people because it's just one of those fascinating, fast-paced dramas that just really enrapture you, where you're just you can't look away. And yeah, it's great time. Really recommend it. Watch Fair Play on Netflix, I think. Yeah. What else you guys got?
Edgar, you go.
I mean, I guess we can mention my first log, but I mean, there's not much to talk about. Pain Hustlers.
Oof.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Have you guys,
what do you think of it?
It's whatever. It's the most forgettable thing I've seen all year, probably.
Man, David Yates can't catch a break.
Yeah, that man needs to go back to the kitchen and cook or something.
It's funny. Somebody made a tweet about their favorite Harry Potter movies, and they mentioned Half-Blood Prince, and I was like, oh, great choice. Not a lot of people say that. Comments grilled the person. I forget who it was, but they were
deservedly so.
Half-Blood Prince, this is crazy. I'm like, no, Half-Blood Prince is arguably the best Harry Potter movie next to Prisoner of Azkaban. It's no questions asked. David cooked.
He
took
cooked
WB's
with
money and
Deathly
cooked
Hallows
it.
Part 1 more so.
I wouldn't say more so, but it's good. It's definitely better than Part 2.
Harry Potter movie.
Part 2 has not really grown for me over the years. Part 2 reminds me of it's a stronger version than Goblet of Fire. But Part 2 reminded me of being in terms of being so fast-paced and action-focused that the character work is kind of diminished.
I love Goblet of Fire. I don't know why people hate on it.
I don't hate it, but it's very bare bones compared to other Harry Potter movies.
Whatever.
It's fun, though.
It's good.
You get Robert Pattinson.
My boy! My
son!
Ray Fiennes' first performance.
First?
Yeah.
As Voldemort, I think.
Voldemort.
No, yes, first ever performance.
Introducing Ray Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes.
The one movie that I can't stand in that movie, which is funny that we're talking about Harry Potter because I did watch all of them.
That's great.
Order of the Phoenix is a movie that I really like growing up, but now I can't stand it because like I used to watch it so much that I know what happens beat by beat, and I like every time that it's like plays on my rewatch, I'm like, ugh, like I'm dreading to watch it.
It's interesting. Order of the Phoenix, I can never grasp how I feel about Order of the Phoenix because a lot of it's really good. I think Umbridge is one of the most haunting performances of the past couple of decades.
I love Order of the Phoenix. Love that movie.
Her character is so horrifyingly bad and just evil. And I think that's portrayed on screen so freaking well. I like the whole Ministry of Magic setting in the last half of the movie. I think it's very well done.
Yeah.
The newspaper transitions were really used to the max in that movie.
I love it.
But I think what lets it down for me are the color saturation in that movie just doesn't work for me anymore.
Half-Blood Prince is worse.
No, I mean for some reason it doesn't work for me in Order while it does in Half-Blood Prince. I think what Order is going for is having that blue kind of sad setting.
Are you just traumatized by Tross, Evan?
No, I'm not. I've had this feeling for a long time because Order for me is like is David Yates' first go around. I think it's very solid, but I think he just
experiment with what he can do with the franchise.
He's experimenting it with the color, with the setting. Like I like what he does with the Ministry of Magic stuff, but I think he finally comes into his own in the latter 3 movies of the franchise.
I love all the Sirius Black stuff in Order of the Phoenix.
Great stuff at Sirius's house, yes, but I think some of the character work could have been stronger with the whole, what's it called, restoration team. I think that could have been done well. And I think the best part about Order of the Phoenix is what David and Daniel do with Harry's character.
I love it. I love having this like Dumbledore's army. That's like one of my favorite aspects of the series, and I love seeing that stuff in Order of the Phoenix.
I do too. But I'll never get over it because I read all the books a couple times.
See, I haven't read the book, so maybe
I love the book. And I think for me, Order, there's so much that could be mined from the team that just isn't in favor of like, what should we do? Like, they favor Harry's character more than fleshing out the team, which I think is a risk and reward kind of thing. But I think Harry's character is really strong. One of my favorite scenes in the franchise when he yells at Dumbledore, like, speak to me, like, talk to me, dude. Because Dumbledore is really ignoring him the entire movie. And it's really good. So I think Order is very mixed for me. But yeah, do you have your ranking, Edgar? Did you do a new ranking this year?
I'm going to pull up the ratings right now, actually. When you
sweet.
That.
All right.
Your rankings.
I don't know if it's like updated. I don't think so, but I'm pretty sure I'm still feel the same about my ranking.
I haven't updated mine in years.
It's funny how we like completely disregarded Pain Hustlers.
Sorry, Pain Hustlers.
I mean, that's kind of how it was pretty forgettable.
It's funny because on Monday I've been watching a new movie every Monday recently, and I'm like, I was going like, do I watch Rustin, Pain Hustlers, or Naiad? And I chose Naiad, and we'll get to Naiad in a minute, but it's Naiad. But it didn't really move the needle for me.
I watched Rustin, so we should do a little
Damn, I should have watched Rustin. But
Yeah.
I was like, my mom might want to watch Weston with me because she's all, civil rights stuff. So, and I really wanted to watch it as well, but I think I'll watch it this weekend. Yeah, I watched Naiad, and Naiad was boring.
Yeah.
Just boring. I'm trying to vamp. Are you pulling it up, motherfucker?
Yes.
But yeah, I love watching the Harry Potter films. I still think for me, just 6.
All right, here's mine.
Okay, what do we have here? Holy shit!
What? Oh, it is this, huh?
Yes!
It's all right. I don't.
Baka.
All of them are great, but like I don't know. I don't love Half-Blood Prince. It's kind of messy.
Chamber of Secrets is not that bad.
It's not. No, it's not.
It's
I love
boring.
Chamber of Secrets. Chamber of Secrets had my favorite line. Happy birthday, Harry. When he rescues him from Harry from the freaking.
See, like, they're all
awful-
good. Like it's hard
It's great.
ranking because they're all like at least 4 out of 5.
6 is Deathly Hallows
Great.
Part 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Goblet of Fire, Sorcerer's Stone, Order of the Phoenix, Azkaban. Then
Such an inspired list. I'll just say that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I used to have Azkaban at number 1, but then I watched Deathly Hallows Part 1 in theaters, and like, yeah, that movie is so fucking good.
it's
I really
really
love
good.
like how meditative it is. Like you really get to sit in these characters' thoughts and them like dealing with like the struggles and the weight that's put onto them. This whole like all the years so far that they've been at Hogwarts and all the pressure that's on them now to like find all the Horcruxes and defeat all Voldemort and stuff. Like you really did sit with their feelings and their there's a lot of good character moments in that movie.
And the invasion of the Ministry of Magic sequence is phenomenal.
And that too.
I really love that. The ending is super sad. The moment with the Elder Wand was really great at the end.
The stuff in I forgot the name of that town, but like where Harry was born, or what's the name of that town?
Huxley, maybe.
I don't remember.
Where his parents' grave is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that stuff's
It's
good
good. For me, let's see where. Whoa, these posters, man! Jesus Christ, you fucking Patreon pro motherfuckers.
Wouldn't have it any
It's worth
other
it.
way.
How much is that?
A
I
lot.
don't know.
It's for a year though, so
I think
I think it's
there's
worth it.
like a promo though. Last time the promo worked for me. So.
It's like 30 a
Okay.
year, I think.
30 years is a pretty good deal. What is that, like $3 a month, or give or take? Anyways, we have Prince of Azkaban, A Half-Blood Prince #2 for you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, hard reading those titles. Deathly Hallows Part 1. What's number 4 here?
Deathly Hallows Part
Deathly Hallows
2.
Part 2. Interesting. Secrets. Secrets. OG.
Secrets over Sorcerer's Stone is crazy. I'll say that.
I might go
mean,
the same way.
They're good. Really? Wow. Okay.
One has Kenneth Branagh, the other doesn't.
But one is like has so much magic and it's the establishment of the world, and like I don't know, I just really love it.
2 continues that. 2 uses the same sets as 1.
Yeah.
Famously, Corone changes the geography of Hogwarts in
He does. Yeah.
Prisoner of Azkaban in terms of like the steps, its connection to the main hall and to the outside, because 3 is all about like how they get from point A to point B inside of Hogwarts. They had to change it up in 3. But yeah, for me at least, my quick Half-Blood Prince rant here. I think Half-Blood Prince has Daniel's best performance. It has Malfoy's best character moments. It has Snape's best moments. It has Dumbledore's best moments. It's the best looking of the film. It has the best character arcs and character moments of the film. It's the funniest and most heartbreaking of the films. It covers every single genre in one movie. Best character moments, again, in the entire series.
And I will argue it has the best shot in the franchise with the cross, like Harry and Snape, like with
Fantastic.
the Hogwarts in the back. Oh, good.
Just jaw dropping. And yeah, I think this is the movie where people fall in love with Snape, who is arguably the best character, give or take Hermione as well. Um, I love the Harry and Snape dynamic, the Snape and Malfoy dynamic, the Hermione and Ron dynamic grows in this movie, even though by 6, Ron is not as great of a character as he could be compared to the books. But then I think he's still strong. I love it. It's hilarious. As I said, it's heartbreaking. It's great. It's a great time. So yeah, it's so weird seeing my list, but with different posters. But yeah, this is my list where I have Half-Blood Prince, Prisoner of Azkaban, fucking what is it? Do I have the first one? Yeah, Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, and then I have Deathly Hallows. Because I really love the first two. For me, the first two work as like these beautiful, heartwarming plays. It's kind of like one of those like Christmas Carol OG plays where they're just so cozy, but also so much filled with magic and heartwarming, and you really see the beginning of the main trio's connection. Yeah, I might put Deathly Hallows Part 1 a little bit higher because I remember watching that recently and I love Part 1. But I think the first two are comfortably over Order for me and Goblet for me. Even though Goblet is endlessly rewatchable, it's so much fun to watch. For me, I come for Harry Potter with the character connections, and I think Goblet's where it kind of
That's
fails.
the thing about all these movies is like what I've been saying. They're all great, so like it's hard to rank, honestly, for me.
You come to it for different reasons, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the magic of the franchise. So anyways, Pain Hustler sucks.
Is Emily Blunt good at least?
Yeah, how is she?
I mean, she's fine. She's doing her best. Like,
Yeah.
How's Chris? Huh? How's my boy Cat?
I was about to say she's definitely better than Chris Evans, but
Oof.
I mean,
Man's having a rough couple years.
he's not horrible, but like you can just tell he's just doing it for the money.
He needs a call with T Street again.
He needs a call from Nolan.
Yeah.
Or Nolan. Nolan could really do some magic.
Y'all didn't like Ghosted?
That was this year, wasn't it? I did not see Ghosted. You guys saw
You didn't see
Ghosted.
it?
No, I'm too good for that. I'm not.
I'm sure it's probably better than this.
I thought you saw it.
I did. It's
Oh.
it's bad, but it's not like it's better than Lost City.
Yeah. Come on, Josh.
I fucking hate that movie.
Come on,
It's
Josh.
so bad.
It's fine. It's fine.
No,
It's fun. I had a
No,
great
it's
time in
bad.
Lost City.
almost fell asleep in that movie.
Oh, that's tragic. Maybe you were tired. Maybe you just needed a nap.
I never
That's
fall
why.
asleep in movies. That's the thing.
I can't remember that's when I fell asleep in a movie. Was it Avatar 2009? Maybe.
Oh, shut up. Get out of here.
I didn't fall asleep in Way of Water. You happy now, motherfuckers? Yeah, I did my waiting.
Speaking
Anyways.
of
What, Way of
that
Water again or
Nolan
something?
call out, I did rewatch Oppenheimer this month in
Sweet.
70 millimeter IMAX again.
Good
yeah,
for you.
masterpiece. That movie was so good. It's so good.
It's
Not really much more
so
to say about it at
great.
this point.
It's so great. It's crazy how great that movie is. Yeah, I love everything about Oppenheimer. The performances and
It just
seeing
gets
the
better with
RDJ
every
clips.
rewatch.
I bet. I think I've only seen it twice. I really want. I don't have the Blu-ray yet. I need to get the Blu-ray.
I need to get that.
Yeah.
If you can.
Yeah. Black Friday was terrible for me. Terrible.
I got a lot.
Everything was gone.
Yeah,
Everything was gone
yeah.
for me.
They went up
why
early
you-
and sold out.
Yeah.
Why?
That's why you had to go
That's
buy
dumb.
them like at the beginning of the
I have work.
at the beginning of the month.
Online, Evan,
I'm
online.
not beginning of the month. I like going to the store. I like being in person. I like shaking the
Yeah,
hand of the
that's
Best Buy
true.
worker and saying, "Give me your money."
Fuck you for
Anyways,
quitting Visible Media.
I was so mad. I got there. Luckily, what I got basically, I got Across the Spider-Verse finally. I got Past Lives and the thing like, special edition, whatever it's called. Because I love the thing.
Yeah,
That's
got
kind
too
of
much
it.
To ramble off here.
I was aiming for Mission Impossible. I haven't gotten Mission Impossible yet.
That still was so nice.
I think it's
What?
still on sale on Best Buy.
Yeah, it's still up. The
The
Steelbook.
Steelbook. Yeah. Yeah, I was literally like sitting in an empty Blu-ray section looking up how to order these fucking movies.
It's so weird. Just
Um,
Black Friday, like yeah, most of their stuff was sold out by like Black Friday. It's weird.
Stupid. I even
And
woke up
probably
early
because
and
Best
shit.
Buy is quitting is that they didn't like reorder more stock. They just like here's all we have.
I wanted Dungeons and Dragons as well. I put the shit
That
on my
went out.
Christmas
That went
list.
fast. Yeah, I didn't do that.
So what I need for the remainder of the year was Barbie, Mission Impossible, Oppenheimer, and Dungeons and Dragons. Probably good one. There was a great Talk to Me Steelbook. I'm like, not Steelbook, but just maybe it was a Steelbook. I don't know. But
The Amazon exclusive.
no, it was at Best Buy.
Oh, just the slip cover.
Maybe, and it looked really good because the Talk to Me cover
It's
is
the
so
one with
good.
the hand.
Yeah,
Yeah, that slip
and
was really nice.
Talk to Me is still one of the best movies of the year. I love it.
Mhm.
So I might get that by the end of the year as well.
Are you a Criterion guy, Evan?
I just have the Marriage Story Criterion. That's it.
Okay. I know Edgar got into it this year.
Yeah, unfortunately for my wallet.
Oh boy.
I got a lot this year too.
The good thing is they don't have a lot of 4K, so that's less I have to buy.
Good.
You only buy 4Ks now?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure like eventually they're gonna remaster them down the line anyway, so why even bother?
I bought my first DVD the other day in like a decade.
Oh, for what?
Because it was a New York, the Scorsese movie. Because that's not streaming anywhere. It's not even like on VOD. So like I saw it for $3. Might as well do it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm waiting like for them to do like a 4K of Past Lives. That's why I haven't bought that.
Oh my
they're doing
God.
the A24 set for sure.
You 4K fuckers over here. I need the 4K.
I got the Blu-ray though, so just normal.
I mean, you're still gonna
Just
pay
don't
like
watch
about the same price, and you're gonna get both the 4K and the regular Blu-ray. Evan.
The A24 sets are like $45. Crazy expensive. They're never on sale.
That Green Knight one is so good. I don't
You
have
have
it,
it?
but no, I don't have it, but
I need it so bad. I want to watch that short film.
But back to movies.
Back to movies. There's a lot that we haven't gone into. You want to talk about the Marvels? That came out.
Sure.
Oh.
Have we all seen
This
it?
movie is
Yeah.
This movie is a fucking blast. I had a really good time with the Marvels.
I had a fun
The
time.
character dynamics with the three leads are really good. The performances are really great. It's nice seeing threads from Miss Marvel and they actually show up like and have a lot of relevance, like with her family being in it for a lot of time, and they're great.
And I think they're fantastic. And you know me, I love Miss Marvel. It's still my number 2 Marvel series after Loki season 1.
Loki season 2, we have to talk about that too. Shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we guess we should. For me, the Marvels family was great, and it has one of the best lines. Not best, but just so unserious and funny lines of like black girl magic. In this movie, just some serious, out of pocket, unserious comedy that I really loved. And the comedy
musical number goes so hard.
The musical number was fun. And then the reveal is like, oh, he's bilingual. And it's just like, it just allows him to speak. It was very hilarious. The comedy was so good in this movie. And yeah, I think
some of the action scenes are really well directed and shot.
The beginning action sequence when they're first getting used to their powers was really strong.
And the training montage was really good too.
That was so cute. I love that. Yeah.
I think the third act kind of falters a bit. This whole story is kind of messy. And the villain don't really motivations aren't really that clear.
The motivations are clear, but it's not like
I don't think it's like that's probably what that's what I'm saying.
There's a great sequence where we see the evil person. We see a flashback of Carol post the first Captain Marvel.
I feel like the movie should have opened with that. Like they should have showed that whole scene. Yeah.
Let's see the antagonist's version of their perspective of Captain Marvel, where she's doing all this bad stuff, and then we see Captain Marvel, and then Carol has to contend with this legacy that has been built up of her being this destroyer. which
We've done
we know
so much for the villain.
exactly. Like we know she isn't a destroyer, but from the perspective of the villain, that's who she was basically. She came in there, killed the Kree commander, whatever it's called, and that's like crazy.
The dude from Tron.
Yeah, basically, basically. And that would have been a great thing to mine if it gave it any kind of extra depth and time. I think there could have been an interesting story there. But I get what they're going for. It just wasn't executed well or even enough. But again, I think
this movie was just like butcher in the editing room.
it looks like, in terms of Carol's arc especially, I'm like, Carol's arc is there, but I can see it being much more emotionally impactful with additional scenes. Some more scenes with her in the past, her with the villain, and just her dealing with her solitude would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of what I like about Avengers Endgame is just, the isolation effect that the audience really feels in the first act. Kind of could have been good here as well. But that was kind of bad, but the dynamic again was fantastic from all three of them. I think they had some baggage that was handled rather quickly. Again, that might be part of the editing thing, but the baggage could have been more interesting as well. As like, hey, Carol
Especially
was
between
there.
Monica and Carol.
Exactly. That's what I'm mainly going for. That Monica and Carol their dynamic was like headbutting each other basically. We get some fantastic awkward moments that I loved, but they just say, hey, we got to do something. We're cool now.
And they cry, then we're good.
And we're good.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. But also,
let's add some depth in there. Let's
get more angry at each
time.
other. Yeah, really dive into what really made you feel this way about it.
And I'm sure that's probably what Nia Costa wanted to do, but
yeah. Another aspect of this movie that felt like such a missed opportunity is that you have like Kamala, like this character who idolizes
Carol.
Captain Marvel, Carol, and like she slowly starts to see like maybe she's not the hero that she was idolizing, but the movie doesn't really do anything with it. It just kind of like, oh, okay.
The more like the don't like, or what's the saying?
Don't meet heroes.
Yeah.
And
if they did that more.
I automatically go to how that trope is used so well in The Last Jedi, where it's all about how Rey's journey is about understanding where Luke's coming from, but also disagreeing with Luke in a healthy way and seeing how they both grow from that relationship. Kamala was almost there, but you're right. It's more so just like Kamala realizing that Carol's not the best leader. And then Carol realizing like, oh, you're right. The girl's right. Like I do.
And that's where like, I think they focus more on the villain's perspective and her, like Carol's maybe not the like best person. She like wiped out this whole civilization basically.
Exactly.
And Kamala found out, and actually like they dealt with that more.
Deal with that, but also dealing with how much she loves Carol and how she knows Carol through this journey is a very good person at heart. So, and yeah, it could have been a very interesting thing to mine there. But Kamala alone had some great scene feeling.
She's the highlight of the MCU at this point for me. Like Iman Vellani is the best thing about this franchise so far.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands fucking down.
She's the comedy. That's the director.
I want her in Emma Seligman's next movie. Like she'd be incredible.
Oh, director of Bottoms, right?
Yeah.
That'd be
Knives
great.
Out 3, even like just give her a comedic role.
It's crazy. This was her first film. And she knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for her. She's such a fantastic actress. I've watched a lot of her interviews over the past couple of weeks. If people have not watched her interview with Perry Nemiroff, it's very enlightening as well. Very good. But yeah, I think she has a bright future ahead of her in the MCU and outside of the MCU. I'm very excited because the post-credit scenes sucked. The whole spoiler alert.
The ending was great, but the post-credit scene was.
Thank you, Josh. The post-credit scene, I can give a rat's ass about.
I don't care about Kelsey Grammer.
I don't care. Stop trying to make me care about a universe that died 10, 15 years ago. I don't care. Deadpool 3, you're going to
seeing Maria was the most interesting part. Seeing
the third Maria?
Yeah. I know, it's not...
How many versions of Maria are we going to get? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I love how the MCU, like, when they got the rights back from X-Men, they were like, oh, we're going to do something new and exciting with the X-Men. And that new and exciting thing is just bringing them back from the
Well, I
Fox
feel
Universe.
like we will do that eventually, but like this middle part, like between Secret Wars and
But
like,
why?
I don't know. Just
Just
fan
start-
fan stuff. I don't know.
You
Fan
start
service.
new, and this is the thing I complain about Spider-Man Home. No Way Fucking Home. It's like, oh, we can't have a new Green Goblin. Let's bring back the guy from 2002.
Yeah, I liked it. I think it worked well in No Way Home.
We can't have a new Doc Ock. Let's bring him back. We can't have a new this. Let's bring them back. Like, stop going to like the MCU could have had a brand new Norman Osborn. How are we 3 Spider-Mans in with no Norman Osborn?
No Way Home's different though because you have Toby in there, and that dynamic seeing them.
Well, because they wanted Toby in there. They wanted to do all that jazz.
See that's a whole different thing. Yeah, I feel like they will get to new versions of those characters eventually. But
Spider-Man No Way Home came out in 2017. We have no essence of what
2017, 2021. You mean?
No. I'm talking about the first Spider-Man.
Homecoming, yeah.
Homecoming. Okay.
Sorry. Homecoming came out in 2017, and to this date, we have no Norman Osborn, no Doc Ock, no like pivotal Spider-Man villain. We have Vulture who's in prison.
I love all the movies, but like as a whole, that trilogy is a mess.
It's mind-numbing to me. I'm like, can we have some villains, some iconic? Spider-Man has the best Rose Gallery ever, minus Batman, whatever. But like, can we have some villains that are truly despicable and truly great Spider-Man villains in our own universe? Mysterio was a hit and a miss. And then No Way Home had reused villains. And then one had Vulture, but now Vulture's in a fucking... Yeah. He's stuck in the Stony trap. He's sitting up there with hey, Morbius, I heard you like Spider-Man. Or I heard you hate Spider-Man. Whatever. Garbage shit. That all to say,
do you want to?
Josh is right.
Yeah.
The ending to the actual movie with Young Avengers, and it's a great ending for one because Kamala's arc is about understanding Carol not the best leader, understanding Kamala's own leadership abilities, how to learn from that exactly, and then she comes across the other great casting of the past couple of years: Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop, fantastic character.
Isn't wild that
seeing those two interact?
Interesting thread. Like Young Avengers is the most interesting thread we have, and there's no like green light for it. Like what?
What are you talking about, Josh? Aren't you excited for Eternals 2 and Hercules?
I like Eternals, but yeah.
And me too. I like Eternals.
See, like, but Midnight Suns and Young Avengers are like the most interesting thing they have to do right now, and there's nothing.
Yeah, there's so many
green light, nothing about it.
So many threads, but I'm with you on Young Avengers. Just get to see Kamala and Kate team up in any kind of interaction would be great. Josh froze.
Yeah, I think he's froze.
Oh boy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to any kind of interaction that Kamala gets to have with these younger Avengers. Like I think Kate's great. I'm still kind of mystified that we had a great Kate and Yelena relationship throughout Hawkeye, the latter half of Hawkeye.
Yeah.
But now they're just putting Yelena in with Thunderbolts instead of Young Avengers, which is an interesting choice.
I mean, she's not necessarily a young.
You're right. How old is Yelena supposed to be? Yelena was billed as a younger Black Widow, basically.
I mean, she's like in her 20s at least.
So is Kate's like what? I think supposed to be 22. Kamala's like 17, 18, 16, whatever. Yeah. Kate, yeah, it's funny because Kamala might be the youngest one, but might be recruiting the most people. It's funny because one of my favorite comic runs over the past couple of years was Champions, which had Kamala, Miles, Sam as like the new Nova, and then young Vision's daughter. They had a great team, and even younger Hulk was in there as well.
Internet. I was saying is I don't multiverse shit. Just doing Young Avengers.
I'm with you. Yeah. But Feige's like, no, damn it, we're sticking with the multiverse. Fuck you guys.
And I just weird segue into something that actually gets the multiverse done well, keeping on the MCU train.
Everything everywhere. What?
What? Loki season 2.
Loki season 2 was interesting to me. I think for me, I liked it up until the finale, and the finale
really
had me then.
Yeah, I forgot you don't like the finale that much.
had me questioning the entire season, because I think a lot of it fell flat for me with the finale, where I think they focused too much on Loki's character and Owen Wilson's character gets a great ending, but I think Loki's character gets a disservice with another sacrifice. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the bullshit, Marvel. I'm tired of the bullshit.
See,
I'm
I
tired
think
of
it
it.
works for this
Just
character in the show.
people are gonna keep saying that after they sacrifice, after sacrifice, after sacrifice, after
But like,
sacrifice.
that's not
Stop
on the
it.
fault. Like, that's you can't really like take this story, what's right for this story, and just blame it.
And
On
I
it. Like
don't think
this
it's right for this
decades of
story.
like stuff that came before that this team of filmmakers had no
You're right.
like nothing to do with.
You're
Like,
right. But I
they're
think
telling their story and they wanted to end it like this, and I think
you're
it's
right.
really well done for this story and for Loki's arc here in the show.
I think it was visually well done, but I don't think it was a great choice for Loki's character. I disagree.
And I don't think we're done seeing him. I think we'll see him pop up again eventually. I don't know.
That's the MCU excuse. Oh, we'll see him again. Oh, we'll see him again. Oh.
I don't want him to show up again, but I assume we probably will at this point.
If there was a Loki season 3, I would have a completely different reaction to this. But for this to be the ending to both the first iteration of Loki, sacrifice, death, not sacrifice, he was just killed off. And then this one to get so close to his dreams and hopes, but then just risk his own life to save others. I get
He's
what they're
not risking
going
his
for.
life. He's like taking control of his life to allow his friends to live.
Yeah, and I vehemently disagree with that. I vehemently disagree with that. I think Loki's whole arc about finding a found family, a found family trope is so heartwarming in its conclusion when they're all united in unity.
Kanan's sacrifice? Right, it's pretty similar to Kanan's sacrifice. Kanan and Rebels.
You're right, and I think Kanan's sacrifice
done the same well.
You know, I think Kanan's sacrifice is built better over the course of 4 seasons, over the course of 1 season.
Had more time there, yeah.
And this is my criticism here, is that I think Kanan's is built well. This season, it became something that had to happen through the sacrifice of all the other character arcs. I think Hunter B-15 was done so dirty this season. She had no arc of her own. Besides she was trying to rebuild the chaos of the TVA, which was an aspect of the show, which I was like, okay, I can kind of see.
Her scenes in episode 1 were really good, though. Like when she's like confronting the council, yeah,
100%.
There's not really much to her character besides that.
And I said, because Nathan and I did reviews for every episode, and at the end of episode 1, I'm like, okay, I can see where B-15 is going with. She's going to be more the interior. How do I restructure it from the inside? While Loki and Owen, Mobius try and restructure it through a more adventurous means. And B-15 just doesn't go anywhere throughout the entire season. So B-15, and then we get Ravonna. I'm like, okay, Ravonna was she was decent in season 1, but at the end of season 1, I think
they're building up more with Ravonna. I think we'll get more of her. I'm
sure we will, Josh. I'm sure we will. In 2026.
I don't think the character's done.
What are you talking about? She's done. She's done.
That ending shot, you don't put that ending shot in there and not follow up on it.
Do you know what universe you're in?
Okay, fair point.
This is the universe of not following up on
things. They want to. Will they? Probably not, but they want to follow up on that.
If anything, and I doubt it, highly doubt it. I could even bet that it will never happen. But if they wanted to just have her a cameo, I can see it happening in Deadpool if they're actually in the prune area or whatever it's called.
Because for me, I got the total opposite interpretation. I thought she went to the Abyss place, where all multiverse tools go to die, whatever. She sees a purple cloud in her eyes. We don't see it. The audience doesn't see it, but it's coming at her. Cuts away. What other interpretation can we get that she just dies? Right?
I mean, I don't know. I think she's too good of a character to just killed.
I thought so too, but I don't
Tell
think the
that to
writers
Kevin
thought.
Feige.
I don't think Eric Martin and Eric, you're the writer of the season, so I'm gonna be coming at you a little bit here. But I don't think he did B-15 well. I don't think he did Ravonna well, especially again after the end of season 1. And I think she shined in episode 3 or 4, one of those scenes when we finally got her Victor Timely episode, and we get to see her perspective on everything, her connection to Victor Timely, how Victor Timely is very much a selfish character, but hey, so is she, how their selfishness kind of combats each other, and how that runs perpendicular to Loki and Sylvia's relationship, which is built on trust. It was kind of an interesting battle of relationships there. I liked everything there. Everything after that episode for Ravonna gets swept under the rug. I think also Sylvie was fantastic for the most part this season, but in conclusion, having seen where the finale goes, I'm underwhelmed with Sylvie's arc. She comes to understand and love Loki in a way, but also
they put the relationship on the back burner for sure.
They put the relationship on the back burner, which is the best part of season 1 for me, at least, and I think for Michael Waldron, the writer of season 1, and for I'm forgetting the woman who wrote Nicole, I think, who helped write season 1 as well and helped with the relationship of Loki and Sylvie. They put the relationship on the back burner. It's there in spades, and I'm
definitely is there more in the finale.
It's definitely there in the finale, but then
because we revisit it.
I was gritting my teeth because I'm like, we're getting some great back and forth in the past where he's like, I can't kill you, but also I don't know what to do. Have her read your mind, which was set up in the first season. And he's like, I can't stop you. Yes, you can. You can show her what you've been through, the 10,000 plus scenarios. Let her visualize that. Let her understand. Nope, I'm just gonna sacrifice myself instead. So it felt like there were so many more avenues with their relationship and with Loki's character that was just swept away, so we can get the triumphant Loki moment. And I think so many characters were just done a disservice. And then for Sylvie to be at the very end and be like, when Owen is like, what's next for you, Sylvie? And she just smiles. Oh, I'll see where the road goes.
I love that. Like, she has the freedom now to do that.
Without Loki?
Yes.
Like McDonald's?
That's what she wanted.
No,
that's her happiness.
I don't think so. I think what the season 2 was trying to show us was that she was kind of miserable in that world. When she goes to that record store at night, looks up at the ceiling and just starts tearing up. What other visualization am I supposed to get here? Is she happy here? I don't think she is. I don't think this is her true happiness. I don't think it is. So when Loki finds her again, and I'm like, okay, he has a team back together. He finally finds her again. She's willing to help him out. Cut to the finale. Loki sacrifices himself, and she's alone again. I don't know what else to glean. I'm just okay. I guess she has the freedom to do whatever she wants. Great,
making some good points here.
but what connections does she have? Is she best friends with Mobius? Not really. But it's like I wanted more for her. I feel
like she has the freedom to find that now.
You're right. And if we see her again, my opinion might change. But it's an MCU thing where it's like maybe we see her again in 7 years. Yeah. I don't know. But for me, I just feel like a lot of the side characters just done a disservice. Besides Mobius, who probably gets one of the best farewell shots of any character in the MCU. I think his
here, let time pass or whatever that line is, like one of those beautiful lines of the year. Holy shit!
Fuck! That was great. That was fantastic.
Besides everything we talked about, I think this show is still one of my favorites. It's probably as a whole, my favorite thing in the MCU, and it's just so fresh and creative and so thematically ripe, and the camera work is just fucking stunning in the show. Unlike everything we've seen in this universe, production value, everything about the show is so good. Does it flop some character arts? Maybe. You think so? I think it's definitely not strong as they could have been, but I liked Loki's art where it concludes here. I don't have many problems with Sylvie's art. I think it could have been better, but I get what they were going for.
I thought it was visually well done. Scene and adventure, because I thought season 3 was confirmed. I thought we were gonna get like Sylvie going into the underworld trying to like save Loki. But anyways, I'm with
That
you,
just
dude.
sounds so generic. Like we've seen that before.
We've also seen him sacrifice himself for friends.
I know,
before.
but like, okay, that's fair.
But
I don't know.
me,
I liked it. I liked it. What can I say?
I agree, and I agree with everything else you had to say. Though I think Loki for me is a show that exemplifies what Disney Plus can really be. Just have characters talking about how they feel. It's a very simple storytelling rule, but a lot of Disney shows don't do it.
The pie scene.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The pie scene is great.
Yeah.
The pie scene is great, and it kind of alludes to what happens in the future, where Mobius is talking about how he got started in the TVA, and then you have Loki trying to convince him to join the TVA in the penultimate episode. It was very interesting, that parallel there. I think the Loki and Mobius dynamic is just the best part. I think it's the writers. The writers ultimately really loved it because Loki and Mobius got the most shine in that finale. And I think it's one of the best dynamics in the MCU easily. But yeah, it's just Loki's all about characters just talking to each other.
I didn't hate Victor Timely also. I know a lot of people
Me neither
do, but I think you worked really well with the story.
I think it's very thematically resonant with the story, just hinging on how Kang is. There's a lot of different aspects to Kang, and Victor Timely's selfish desire is one that kind of sings through all purposes of Kang. So yeah, I was fine with the performance. I was fine with the character. What's it called? Ouroboros. Fantastic.
Oh, Kiwi Kwan, incredible. One of the highlights of the
good.
season. Yeah, he's so good. Perfect.
Yeah, buying his own books. Yeah, I had a blast with Key.
All the time hopping or the time skipping, I think is what they called it. That stuff really cool. The final two episodes where it like culminates is just so powerful and so well done.
So great in terms of them like just sitting down discussing the aspects of science and fiction and the tenets of both. It was so freaking goofy, but really interesting as well. I had a great time just watching it.
It's just such a cool, weird retro sci-fi show, and I loved it.
It doesn't get made a lot, right? Like I think this was a much better version of what was that one FX show that people liked?
The X-Men one, right?
The X-Men one.
Legion.
Yeah.
Season one was so good.
I never watched
season 2 just it was like a Big Little Lies for me. It was
I know Aubrey Plaza was in there, right?
Whoops.
I don't think I ever finished season 2. I think I only saw like one episode and then never went back to it.
It's not good.
Oof.
The needle drops in season 1 though, the visual, like how it's visualized. Oh my god,
so good. Oh, they really.
We do needle drops. The record store scene in Loki, season 2. Oh,
fantastic,
incredible,
fantastic. I love that scene. Yeah. So yeah, Disney, good stuff there. And apparently they're only going to have 2 shows next year in Echo and Agatha.
I think this is for like the future. This is a great move of only having 3 projects next year. Like that's what we need. We need to like push the brakes a little bit on MCU stuff.
Exactly. So they have Echo and Agatha in terms of live action, and then they have X-Men 97 as their animated endeavor. Which seems very interesting. And Star Wars, no more Andor, which is sad.
That's weird because they like. I thought they were for sure to do. Summer.
Me too. But at least we got Acolyte and the other one, Skeleton Crew.
Good.
Yeah. But Acolyte's going to be woo
peak, as they say.
Peak. I can't wait. So let's continue on here with some other stuff we watched this year. Let's talk about Nathan's. Sorry, I was going to talk about the Hunger Games Part 2, or not Part 2, but Ballad of Songs and Snakes and Shits and Rats.
This movie fucking incredible. Really surprised. How much I love this.
Really well done, Francis Lawrence, right? That's the name.
He cooks. He's top chef over there.
The superior David Yates.
Oh shit! What was that one movie, the spy movie that Francis Lawrence did? I think is very underrated.
Red Sparrow. I didn't hate that movie.
I didn't hate it either. Yeah. I think it's pretty decent. I'm not gonna go back and
I mean, it's
rewatch
not
it.
great. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not forgettable, but I think I think it was better than I thought it would be.
It's funny to me that
Yeah.
he went from making that movie with Jason Momoa and the Slumberland to
I
this.
forgot he did that.
You did Slumberland?
Yeah.
No way! Oh my god, that looks so bad.
It
Oh,
looked
man.
that movie looks good though, at least when they're like in the real world. When they're in the like the fantasy land, it looks like shit. But
I didn't know that was Francis Lawrence. Holy shit! I guess it's like one for you, one for me.
I guess.
Was Slumberland for him? We'll see.
Like how Tim Soprano's
Yeah.
detective movies are the one for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. But yeah, I had a great time with Hunger Games. This was so surprising for me because on a character level, this is one of the most character-rich stories in the entire saga so far. I love the relationship between Snow and
Lucy Gray.
Lucy
Dare
Gray.
I say the best movie in the franchise? Question mark.
Second best.
Second best.
It's up there with Catching Fire, which is something I never thought I'd say.
Me neither, but I think it's comfortably over the last two Mockingjay movies.
All of them is, yeah. First
And
one I
then-
think is decent. It's not
Yeah.
great. Catching Fire is fantastic, but the
First-
first two, I liked 3 a lot. I rewatched part 1 and part 2 before about
Me
whatever
too.
the fuck it's called. I was surprised how much I liked part 1. Mockingjay part 1.
I can't
It's
stand
very
part
similar
one.
to Deathly Hallows part 1, where it's very meditative, very like in their feelings, and I like that shit.
I'm sure you do. I can't stand part one. I think it's
Really?
very monotonous. It's very they're in their feelings all right, but I don't care about their feelings as much as they did for the first Deathly Hallows.
That's fair.
For some reason, I just couldn't connect with their
It was a
plight.
little less PETA too.
Yeah,
I think it is missing that relationship, like
Yeah.
correlation.
Gail
between
fucking
Katniss
sucks.
Gail
Yeah.
was
He's the fucking worst. Fucking
he's
war criminal.
horrible. Fuck yeah, fucking asshole. Yeah. What happens to Gail? Does he die at the end of the?
No, he just betrays her.
Yeah, he just goes to like another district.
Yeah,
Basically,
just,
like
I can't
runs
stay
away.
blue.
Fuck you, Gail. But yeah, the ballad Lucy Gray is such a great character.
Incredible character.
People criticize the final act, and some of my favorite moments were in that final act.
Yeah.
I think it was a bit rushed because
Yeah.
on the full 3 hours, or at least I would have
Yeah.
been fine if it was a part 2 also, if they split this in half.
I think if it was just like 3 hours, it would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like I am one of those people that complains about the third act because
it's just a bit rushed.
not only that, but because I have read the book. The book
Mhm.
is structured as a more of a political thriller than it is about the Hunger Games. Like when you are actually like in the section of the Hunger Games, it goes by really quickly because there's not a lot of like tributes left, and none of them are really targeting Lucy Gray from what I remember. So that's like, if I'm correct, that's like a change from the books. But like that entire section is just like goes by really quickly, and then when you get to District 12, which is to me like the meat of the story, you really get to focus about the Covey, and you get to spend like time with like Lucy Gray's like ex-boyfriend and like his new girlfriend, and see that dynamic and how like they like basically pull the strings to put her name on the ballot or whatever they call it or whatever. Like that entire like storyline with those group of characters are like very pivotal to like not only her but like to make like Snow like question whether or not Lucy is using him or not, and none of that is in the movie.
See, that sounds great. I would
Yeah,
love
That
to see
sounds
that
really
movie,
good. Yeah, they
See,
kind of
that's where,
slid
like,
that in there
I-
towards the end.
I'm for this version of the movie, I'm glad they focused more on the Hunger Games because that's where the meat of
Yeah.
the story is for me personally with this movie. And I think it's done really fucking well. Like the whole relationship starting to form, like the formation of the mentors themselves is really
Oh,
cool
it's
to
so
see in this
good.
movie.
Peter Dinklage is
And-
so fucking good.
Yeah.
He was great.
And Jose
Great.
Andres Rivera is also incredible in this movie.
What a star, man. Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I also like something that when I read the book. I
Wait, is it
instantly, like,
Joseph or what's his name?
I think it's Jose.
Jose? Yeah.
I think it's both. I mean, it's the same thing. Like if you just
Okay.
translate it to Spanish. But like one of the things that I thought about when I first finished reading the book, which was earlier this year, was
Oh,
like,
it's Josh.
yeah,
That's funny.
Not your Jose, Josh.
It's like how like this entire story really complements like his dynamic in the future with Katniss, and you really see why he is the way he is in the future. And something that somebody pointed out, you know, Twitter, social media, whatever, is like it's kind of ironic that this guy is the only guy who like shows sympathy to Katniss when like her sister dies in the movies. Like literally nobody gives her like her condolences. It's only him because like he kind of
Yeah.
like gets it. Like he's a fucking asshole, but like
Yeah.
now that you see like his part of the story, like from his perspective, you kind of see why or where he came from like perspective, I guess.
PETA also did that too.
Well, yeah, but like in like literally nobody else. Nobody,
Gills,
like,
I'd fuck you.
disregard.
I'm the one who did it, basically.
But yeah, this movie is just a great like Rachel Zegler. My God, that woman can sing.
She's a star, man. Like she's like probably already one of my favorite actresses, and I've only seen her in 3 movies. Like she's just has so much charisma and like so fucking good.
Yeah, her final scenes with Snow there in the cabin were so great.
Yeah.
Just seeing her like, and that's kind of like the meat for me when I'm watching this. And I'm trying to understand where the fall off happens in terms of like their relationship. How like seeing what are the clues that she's like, again, I got to get away from this guy, and seeing that build up throughout the third act, however messy it was kind of very interesting to me.
Mhm.
And seeing that final confrontation in the cabin was very good. And then seeing his mental break in the woods was phenomenal. I think that was my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah.
So that was great.
I think it's funny how people complain about like the songs. I think people weren't really expecting.
I
that
love
type of
the
the story.
songs in this movie.
I love it too,
Like,
but like
they're
the funny
genuinely
thing,
great.
yeah, the funny thing for me is like the songs in the books are not that very good. So I'm surprised that they like
Yeah.
managed to make them like really like catchy here in the movie.
All power to Rachel. Yeah, she helped make those work.
Also,
Yeah, I thought overall
Hunter
it's a very
Schafer.
strong movie.
Hunter Schafer
Oh yeah,
doesn't have much screen time, but every scene she's in, she steals. Like she's so good.
and she was key to
So much heart.
understanding just how far Snow is falling. She's kind of like our window into that to see, like, 'cause she was the closest person to him. She saw him at his worst and at his best, and you can kind of visualize that through her.
I'm also glad to rewatch the Mockingjay movies because I would have not known who Tidris was.
Yeah, Jalen had a whisper during the movie to me because he watched it recently than I did, and I was like, "Who the fuck?" I was like, "Okay, cool. Like, I guess that works."
No, she helps them, and Mockingjay.
Yeah, good for you, Tigris. And then we'll next see Hunter in Euphoria season 3.
Or Cuckoo, whenever that fucking movie comes out.
The horror one?
You know about this? Yeah, with Chester Henwick.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a neon
movie.
That's come out this year, but haven't heard anything about it.
Interesting. Yeah. Part of me thought that they were just going to drop Euphoria, but seeing it in that like HBO Max trailer sizzle thing for 2025 Euphoria season 3, I was like, oh, they're really going with this. Okay, whatever.
It probably made some too much money,
I guess. Yeah.
I wonder if the actors have a contract with them for 3 seasons, because if not, they're gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
Reason, yeah.
All
right.
Okay. What else you got? There's a lot that we can just like fly through now. It's already
I do some classics I watched for the first time. So I have 3 Spielberg movies I watched for the first time. What'd you do? Just give me 1 second. I watched Catch Me If You Can for the first time.
Wow. What'd you think?
Yeah. I fucking loved it. I think some of both Spielberg and Tom Hanks and Tapros at all their best work. The performance was great. Tom Hanks, especially in that movie. God damn, so good.
When Amy Adams used to have a good agent.
I did not know Amy Adams was in that movie, and yeah, she was great. It's such a fun little cat and mouse movie. I think it's one of the John Williams' best scores too. So good. Yeah, really fun.
The ending of that movie is so charming.
So good. Yeah.
I
Yeah, so
also
that's one of my
watched,
favorites. I need to watch that more.
I watched The Terminal, another Tom Hanks Steven
I've never
Spielberg
seen
classic.
Terminal. Yeah.
I was really surprised about this movie. Do you know? Have you guys heard about it though? Do you know what it's about?
I've never seen it.
Okay.
I haven't
Have
seen
you
it
seen it?
either. No.
So it's about this man who's like from a foreign country, in middle of his flight to New York. That country declares war or has a civil war. So he's kind of locked out, not really a citizen anywhere. So he's kind of stuck in this airport for months, turns out to be years, and you start to see the relationships he starts to develop with the characters of this airport. And I think this is really good character work. Tom Hanks, the performance is really powerful, and it's great. Spielberg can't miss, honestly, unless he can with I retract that. But I don't know. I always love that Spielberg cheese a bit, and that comes through really strong here.
Awesome. Yeah, I gotta catch this one.
Also, to round out the triple feature, Adventures of Tintin, I finally watched.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about that last time.
Yeah, we talked about Hugo last time.
Hugo.
You got
I always
confused with
get
this movie. So I decided, hey, I'll actually watch Tintin now. And yeah, this is like the pinnacle of adventure movies. I think it's so fun. I don't know why they tried making an Uncharted game when this movie exists and does all of those aspects so well. The animation's gorgeous. Andy Serkis is so fun, and it's. I really want a sequel. It's just really good movie.
Not gonna happen, but I wish to too.
Any other classics, first time watches you guys did?
Let me see here. First time watches.
Dream Scenario, I guess. The beginning of the month. That's all right. I liked it.
I watched it.
It's one of.
It's all right too.
It's one of those movies where.
Oh really?
Where the ideas are stronger than the actual movie. Nicolas Cage is pretty good in the movie. It just, for me, like, I get what the movie is trying to do with portraying this character who is supposed to be like a loser, like a pathetic loser, but like it goes to like, I don't want to say like it crosses a line, but like it kind of makes a point to like almost like be so like mean spirited towards its main character that it doesn't even feel funny. It just feels like cruel to me.
It doesn't feel realistic, honestly.
That's interesting. I was like an hour or so away from finally catching Dream Scenario on Tuesday, but it was raining and it was cold. I was like, I'll just catch it later. And then the HBO Max deal came out. I'm like, okay, I guess I would just wait till HBO Max.
I think it's pretty creative. It's really messy in its like ideas, but there are some cool ideas there. Nicolas Cage is great, but it's just kind of forgettable for me.
Interesting. Not what I was expecting. I heard some solid things overall, but okay. I saw a movie that you guys have seen before me, and it's they cloned Tyrone. Oh. I finally saw it. Fan-fucking-tastic.
Really great, right?
Really, really, really great. Just exploring this like grimy world they're living in here. And just the chemistry between the three main leads, between Jimmy Fox, John Boyega, Teyonah Parris, fantastic chemistry, great performances, an interesting kind of comedy between all three of them, just like making digs at each other the entire time, but still having like that heart between them as well as it grew throughout the movie. And just the weird, I love me some weird sci-fi, and we got some crazy weird sci-fi towards the latter half of this movie.
It's one of the more like creative, fresh movies of the year, and it's
easily
crazy for a directorial debut too.
Oh, it was a debut, sweet.
Yeah, so many great directorial debuts this year.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I was so captivated after that first act. I'm just like, wait, I had to rewind it a little bit. I'm like, did I miss something here? What's happening? And just exploring that kind of mystery. It was kind of like a mystery thriller, but also some kind of like old school feel to it as well. It was so cool, just so unique. I had a really fun time. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Studios needed to have John Boyega starring roles.
Exactly. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you.
And
John,
I think this movie, like that ending and where it sets up for a sequel, I really fucking hope they do. I doubt it will because no one watched it.
oh, I didn't see that as a sequel. Just kind of like a full circle kind of moment.
I feel like they could totally do. Like,
I feel like they could totally do it. Yeah, the world is so interesting in terms of like it's like the execution of trying to nail that like comedy, that comedic, but also very relevant story in a world that's super expansive. It can be as expansive or minimal as they really want it to be with what they were kind of setting up with in terms of like this. I don't want to get into it, but it's just like what is revealed could have some very interesting applications in other locations throughout the world. And that'll be very fun with Boyega or without Boyega, but hopefully with Boyega. So yeah, I really had a blast with They Clone Tyrone. Over Thanksgiving break, I also rewatched my favorite movie of all time, Arrival. I popped it on at night because I was like, it was like 2 a.m. like the night of Thanksgiving, and I'm like, what do I watch tonight? And then I was on Netflix and they had Arrival. I was like, you know what? Let me just pop on Arrival. Jalen's like, again? And I'm like, yes. My mom was like, okay, time to go to sleep because I'm just gonna be quoting Arrival all night. And it was fantastic. I love Arrival. 5 stars, masterpiece. No notes. Speaking of
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, go ahead.
If we're talking about Thanksgiving watches, I watched some Thanksgiving-ish movies. I watched Planes, Trains, Automobiles for the first time with
I've never
John
seen
Candy,
that.
Steve Martin. Thanksgiving, probably the only Thanksgiving movie before this year. It's just a fun road trip buddy comedy.
Yeah,
and
my
Steve
boss
Martin's
at
really
work, my boss at my old job loved that movie. He always wanted me to watch that movie, but
I think it's not didn't really push me as much as like I didn't really get the hype as much. I think it was pretty good, but there's some weird choices throughout. It's very dated.
I think
but the
old
ending's really
audiences gravitated towards. Like, if you grew up watching this movie constantly on loop, it's one of those kind of films.
Also, I watched When Harry Met Sally for the first time. Classic rom-com.
First time?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I'm glad I finally watched it.
I love that movie.
It's just so wonderful. It's like the epitome of rom-com.
When Harry Met Sally and You Got Mail were always on.
I still need to watch that. Yeah.
You Got Mail I've seen 1,000 times. It's
Sleepless in Seattle is also on the list.
And Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah.
That's the trio. When Harry Met Sally, You've Got Mail, and Sleepless in Seattle. I watch those movies all the time. It's kind of like how I got into rom-coms because my mom's a huge rom-com fan. I watch those all the time. And then my You Got Mail is Set It Up. I just watch that every year.
It's me and you, Evan. Me and you. That movie is so fucking good.
I might watch it during Christmas break again. I'm just
I'm feeling a rewatch too.
Yeah, I'm feeling a rewatch. It's that time of the season.
Commentary.
Oh, yes, we have to. It's great.
You got to indoctrinate Edgar into the setup hive.
For sure.
But yeah, that movie is so fun. Made Ryan, Billy Crystal. I mean, incredible. What more to say?
Perfect.
Also did the Knives Out Glass Onion double feature. My first time rewatching Glass Onion since theaters, and holds up very well. Holds up. Nice, really fun movie. Yeah, and Knives Out. I mean, what more to say? It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yep, rewatched it too. Still a classic.
The best Thanksgiving tradition.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
Also, Fantastic Mr. Fox, very good fall vibes Thanksgiving movie.
Never seen it.
And then,
how fantastic is he? He's a fox.
He's very fantastic. It's George Clooney as a fox. Meryl Streep as his wife, Fox.
Oh, really? Nice. Yeah. Is she screaming like in Big Little Lies season 2?
No.
No. Okay.
She's better than it though. I guess we could transition into the Thanksgiving movie, holiday movie of the year, if we want.
Thanksgiving.
I was thinking holdovers, but I forgot
Oh.
about that. Yeah, I didn't see it. Yeah, Thanksgiving. I didn't see it.
I saw Thanksgiving and I had a blast with
Yeah?
Thanksgiving.
It's funny that you brought up holdovers because I did a double feature between Thanksgiving and the
Oh, yeah.
holdovers.
Oh, that's great. That's a great double feature. I might have to try that out next year. But real quick about Thanksgiving. This is so much fun. It's capturing the Scream energy. And given what's the chaos and shit that's been happening with the Scream franchise, even though this is still Spyglass Studios, not great, I can see myself watching 1,000 more Thanksgiving movies. It's so campy, fun, ridiculous. Gnarly. It's gnarly as hell. Some great kills. The Black Friday sequence at the beginning of the movie is incredible, wild,
but also dated.
See, I want to watch this movie, but like it's hard because this month is so stacked, and I only have so many A-list spots.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to rush and see. It's not like go out and see this movie.
Probably leave theaters soon, though. So
yeah, but I mean, I would recommend it. It's very fun. It's a very fun, campy horror movie. I like the main squad of characters as well. They're not filled with so much depth, but they're kind of like a lightweight Scream trio per se. I like the main actress, Addison Rae. Not Addison Rae. Whoops.
She is in this.
She's in this movie?
Yeah. Nell Verlaque. She was in this Disney Plus show that I used to watch, basketball show. And she was great in this. And then, again, the younger cast is solid. The mystery element is pretty good. I think you know me. I'm always trying to guess who is the killer, and it's the beauty of the Scream movies too, where you're trying to narrow down who the killer is. I think that mystery element is pretty solid throughout the movie, and I called it before the reveal. I'm proud of myself, but it was very interesting. I just had a blast watching this movie. It's a really fun movie.
Yeah, I think I liked it a lot. I think I would probably give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Me too.
But I don't know, I really like how everything is executed. I just thought the setup of the story was a bit weird, considering it feels a little bit dated, considering the times that we live in. Very dated. It doesn't happen anymore. But
not at all.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
In terms of open this door.
Did you see the videos of Black Friday this year where just one person in line? It's so sad.
It's so sad. Yeah.
Bring the fighting back.
Bring the fighting back. Bring the death and destruction. But yeah, I thought this was just a fun effort. My theater was laughing multiple times. Not a lot of great jump scares, but a lot of great kill sequences.
Yeah.
So I thought, this is a fun movie, and they already greenlit a sequel, and I'll be there day one because I had a blast with this one. But yeah, the better and more Oscar contender. Yeah, The Holdovers, and this is a movie. And I'll be honest here, The Holdovers. I heard so much hype here. I'm like, it can't be that great.
And before we say, I just want to say, fuck Alexander Payne. The allegations suck.
Oh yeah,
but started that Tross first. He made a great movie, but fuck him.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this movie for me, I was like, the trailers were pretty decent. I kind of knew what I was expecting, and holy shit, this movie blew all my expectations out of the water. It's such a simple but enriching experience the more you go through the film and kind of really understand where each of the main characters are coming from. The movie spent a lot of time diving into their sentimentality with each other and then themselves over the course of the movie in a way that those ending moments were just so powerful given everything that came before from their experience. I think Paul Giamatti was fucking amazing in this movie. He's always good. He's always good. I think my first Paul Giamatti movie was Cinderella Man.
Oh, he's good in that. Yeah,
He's
but
great
mine
in
was
that.
probably
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
In what?
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No way.
I don't know if I've seen that many Paul Giamatti movies.
Oh wait, no. What am I saying? He was
Saving Private Ryan.
Haven't
Saving
seen it.
Private Ryan.
You haven't
wow.
seen Saving Private Ryan?
Saving Private Ryan.
Shit.
It's really good.
I'm
Saving
catching up on
Private-
Spielberg, so it's gonna happen eventually.
What's the fucking Disney movie? Isn't he Big Fat Liars? That's Paul Giamatti.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Right?
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, Paul
With
Giamatti?
Ricky Muniz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. I
Where's
blinked. I was
Blue?
like, yeah.
I have an image of him blue in my mind.
all the time. Yeah. That was like
Yeah,
scarred
okay,
in my
that's
brain.
the first one.
That's the first one for sure. And then it's Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Cinderella Man, I watched in English class in high school.
I showed it to my students last year in high
Great
school.
movie.
They loved it, and I love it too. It's a great movie. Ron Howard, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I think so.
Yeah.
Back when Ron Howard was cooking. And
mean,
yeah,
so
I mean
well.
he cooked this year too. Napoleon.
This year.
Um,
Oh yeah, that's Ridley Scott.
Yeah, that's Ridley.
Ridley Scott. Whoops.
That's my
Too old, dude. I get them confused all the time.
What
But
was
yeah,
the last movie that flopped? What was it? I forget.
Solo.
Oh wait,
No,
Hillbilly
he-
Elegy, worst
Oh,
movie of that
yeah.
year.
Ugh,
Yeah,
yeah, another Amy Adams nightmare.
she needs a new agent. Night Bitch though. Night Bitch is the one.
Did that not get canceled? That's the one that's safe?
No,
Okay.
That's the other one with
it's
Robert Pattinson.
the yeah.
Adam
Night Bitch
McKay.
is the Meryl Heller one, who did
Got
Can
it.
You Ever Forgive Me?
You're thinking about Adam McKay.
Yeah.
Which it's
Never
Adam McKay. They'd
Yeah.
cancel it. I don't care.
Adam McKay is okay. But yeah, holdovers, man. Danielle Radoff. I'm butchering her name.
Divine Joy Randolph.
Divine Joy Radoff. Thank you.
Yeah. Incredible.
Incredible, fantastic. That kitchen
Dominic
scene.
Sessa, revelation.
How is this his first role?
He's so
How?
fucking good in this.
How? Yeah, he's great in this. He was really like he comes across as like the arrogant kid, but once you learn more about him through his family history and then his experiences with Paul Giamatti, it's like, man, there's a lot of layers to each of these characters. I can see myself watching this movie like every season. It's just one of those like
Yeah.
I can easily see it be endlessly rewatchable. It's
As a
good,
whole,
heartwarming
I probably don't think I I don't think I liked it as much as you guys, but it's just a delightful, solid, like feel good watch for sure.
It's not as good as Loki season 2, right?
No.
But yeah, for me, I didn't think I was gonna love it as much as I did. I came out just like maybe because I talked to my mom about it afterwards, like a lot. I was like, I love this part, I love this part, I love this part, and it got me thinking, like, what part didn't I like? I had a very great time with every piece of this movie unraveling. It also just shot very well. A lot of the great landscape shots of the school, of the city, of the whole.
I just
setting.
love the vibe of like the production behind it. It's like very old school. Like even the audio designs like that too. The cinematography, the like added film grain. What's great?
Yeah, perfect. So I had a great time watching this. It's in my top 12 of the year. I had a blast. Yeah.
What do you think, Ted?
I loved it. I think I didn't know what I was expecting, but like because I hadn't seen any of the trailers, but like just seeing this story, like this father figure, kind of like parental, found family story done really well, was really charming. There's one look that Paul Giamatti does during
It's
the party.
yeah.
That is so fucking devastating. But it's still like so.
I was thinking the
human.
scene in the gym, like where the famous shot of like where his eyes are crazy.
Oh no, not like this, man!
Not
I'm over
that.
here trying to be emotional. You're thinking about a meme.
That scene's really good though.
No, it is pretty good. It is pretty good. But yeah, like this movie is just very charming. That entire sequence where I guess we can avoid spoilers, but where an accident in a gym happens and they have to like go somewhere. That entire like series of events is just very like funny and like
stuff with his dad too, Dominic Sessa's dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That entire Boston sequence, I thought the movie was gonna start to like maybe like
Drag.
out, but like
And his
just
mom
like kept
being
going.
fucking awful.
Oof.
Worst mom of the
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
Evil
He's
Dead,
up
maybe.
there. Evil Dead.
No, Evil Dead. Yeah.
I mean, she was trying her
She
best.
was a good mom. She was a good mom.
It wasn't her fault. Let her cook. No.
And which Evil Dead are here?
Evil Dead. Not here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not here.
Is this your like biopic, Evan, of your story as a professor?
Yes. Yes.
He's a tenured professor.
This is my future. This is my future. But yeah, it was great. Yeah, just learning more about his like backstory. There's so many layers I didn't expect. Like there was even layers to like why he became a professor that was very interesting as well.
That sequence, like in I think it was still in Boston, where like they come across an old like colleague with him. Like it's just like
Peak.
It's funny, but it's so tragic at the same time.
Yeah, it's like this movie is so human and relatable and awkward in all the best ways. It was great.
If we want to keep on the awards movies train, I just briefly, we could talk about more when you guys see it, but I also watched Anatomy of a Fall this month.
I fucked up. I should have saw it.
Me too, Evan. It left theaters.
Utter staggering achievement of cinema. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. It is just so engaging for a courtroom drama. And so contemplative, it makes you really think. And the performances are fucking incredible. The kid is insane. The dog performance in this movie, you'll see, is crazy.
Better than Airbud?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's that good. Sandra Huller deserves the hype. She's incredible. She balances such a fine line in this movie. And yeah, just the argument scene, you'll know when you see it, is incredible in this movie. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. We'll talk more.
Yeah. I was planning on watching this movie, and then one day that I had a free day, I was like, oh, I'll maybe go watch it, and then I clicked AMC and it wasn't there anymore. So.
Gone.
Oh, man.
Gonzo.
See, I watched this with I did a double feature of this and Priscilla when they came out.
I remember
when Priscilla came out on the 19th for me, or I think the week of the 18th, whatever. It was opening with Anatomy of a Fall. I went to go see Priscilla instead because it's a shorter movie. I was tired. And then I just completely forgot about Anatomy of a Fall, like for the rest of the month. And then like the Thanksgiving week, I was like, oh, let me go see Anatomy of a Fall. Gone. I was so upset.
It was like surprising because of the double feature I did. I was not not wanting to watch this, but like Priscilla's one I was more interested in. But this like just surprised me, man. Like it's that good.
I think I would love this one more, yeah, because it's my genre is like mystery thriller courtroom shit.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
It turns into Mythbusters for a like hot second. It's so cool.
Hey yo,
Myth?
No, what?
Mythbusters. I watch Mythbusters every day after school. I would run home, eat my waffles, and watch Mythbusters. That was Evan in high school. And animal.
You and waffles.
What
is your favorite food?
Yes. Oh no, it's like shrimp and then waffles.
Okay, that's fair.
I love shrimp.
Combined?
No, not together. Not chicken and waffles and shrimp and waffles. No. There's some Netflix movies I want to talk about as well.
The Killer.
The Killer.
Ooh,
yeah.
Let's do that.
The Killer slaps.
Those first 20 minutes. Oh.
So excellent. I wanted to love it.
I
wanted to love it a bit more.
Me too.
If I was emotionally connected with the film, I think it would be easy 5
this
stars.
This movie has grown on me. I think by the end, I was like, okay, wait, they're actually having some fun with this. Like I was expecting like a very serious like serial killer movie, but no, they're making fun of the genre. Like what he's doing with this movie is really interesting. I didn't love it, like you guys are saying, like as much as some people do, but it's still really solid.
If I had a connection with it, it would be like my favorite movie of the year. But like as it is, it's a very fun, easy, not easy, but just breezy assassin like flick, but also has some hidden layers and subtlety that kind of grows over time with Michael Fassbender's character here. That final scene with him and
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton, thank you very much. Really kind of delves into the theme of the movie a little bit in terms of like what he's hoping to accomplish here and his experience over time. But overall, like you guys are saying, the first 20 minutes was great. I love the way David Fincher shot like the mentality of the character. Michael Fassbender.
And all the shaky cam is visual effects. It's all CG, which is crazy.
That's insane.
I cannot believe that.
There's a reason why Mindhunter season 3 won't happen.
I know. Yeah. We know this. Fincher is a master at special effects. Like he is, or visual effects. Like he's very good at how he uses it, especially Zodiac, which all the visual effects in Zodiac.
I need to watch 7 and Zodiac one of these days. I used to sit down and watch those finally. I know, I have it.
Commentary?
I feel like that needs all my attention. For
Seven is my favorite movie ever. It's like 7 and Arrival. Favorite movies ever. I've watched 7 1,000 bazillion times. 7's great. I did my college paper on 7. It was like 7 pages.
I will say about The Killer is that I'm so fucking happy I watched it in a theater. I'm sad you guys couldn't, but because the sound design is like
nice, Josh.
Unreal in the theater.
I'm so sad you guys couldn't. Fuck off.
Edgar bailed, or you didn't bail, but Edgar didn't want to go. I understand you can't, but Edgar had the chance to.
But you're probably like me. I'll just catch it on Netflix. You see what the corporations have done to us, guys. It's
I know, yeah. I'm not blaming
you. Just put it on AMC. Why do you need to play it like on this like special movie theater? He did it with Glass Onion.
I don't know.
Yeah, Ryan put a gun to their head. He was like, plays in theaters.
But yeah, the sound design is like some of the best of the year. It's so unique and cool and abrasive.
This movie just exudes cool. Like it's so cool.
The title sequence, like
rips.
It's like cool great. And looser energy at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like the first 20 minutes, like I know everybody talks about them, but like that might be the most like
it's the best gag of the year.
Yeah, like it's so fucking funny. Like this guy is just like building himself up, and then he just
fuck.
Oh fuck yeah.
So good,
insane. And then the movie just gets better and better after that for me. It's just like
the fight scenes in this movie like blew me away.
Shit, dude.
Blew me away. The one in Florida, like come on.
The Florida fight sequence is one of the best fight scenes of the entire year. It really surprised me. And then each
up there with John Wick, which I never thought I'd say that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just the way it felt so raw and real. Yeah, I think mad props to Fassbender for really capturing the chaotic energy of this character, he's not a chaotic character, but internally you might think so. He kind of exudes this idea of calmness that kind of is much more beneath the surface. And I like a lot of like visual language of the film, slight spoilers, but after he kind of messes up his assassination attempt, he's going to the airport, he's kind of looking around and he changes his airplane ticket. And kind of like, it doesn't tell you exactly why, but like the visual language is all about like what he's kind of perceiving and what he's kind of thinking could happen to him at any moment. This movie really keeps you on your toes with like the dangers of the profession and like the chaotic energy that he's going through here. But yeah, this movie it's so cool. It's so much fun. The Killer it's great. So if you haven't watched The Killer, really recommend it. There's also another beautiful, perfect, fantastic Netflix movie called May December.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? No. Oh,
I'm in finals week, Evan. Give me a break.
All right,
fucking finals,
but May December is growing on me. I talked about it last month, but like, it's fucking incredible. Like, it's so good.
Growth this movie has on me.
It's like hot on film Twitter right now. And
maybe that's it.
I did not expect it to blow up as much. I'm so happy it is. It means award chances are growing, and that makes me happy. Because my boy Charles Melton needs a fucking nomination.
He's getting the nomination.
You'll finally join the hive for Charles Melton.
It's crazy. Did I not? I don't think I even had him in my top 5 last time we did the report. I don't think we did.
He's fucking incredible in this movie.
Is he over Downey now for you, Evan?
No.
No?
Do I? do I want him to win over Downey? Maybe. I wouldn't be. I would say this. I wouldn't be upset if he wins over Downey. I think Downey still has this lock and hand him the Oscar, but
I
also
don't know.
Mountain could be rising. You never know. It's kind of hard to tell with these early Oscar.
But like the word of mouth
voting
is like the
groups.
big thing with these early awards, and he's getting it.
He's getting it big time. He's getting it big time.
This is like one of the like best instances of Netflix actually working to his movie's advantage, I think, because everyone's seeing it and everyone's talking about it.
It's kind of hard. We do live in our own bubble. We live in our film Twitter bubble.
But like that's the people that are in these like conversations.
But are they in the Academy?
I think there's a lot of passion for this movie in the Academy. Yeah,
I hope so. But I don't know if the Academy's scrolling through film Twitter to see what the latest.
No, I'm not saying that, but like I'm saying in the like awards movie space, this movie has a lot of passion, has a lot of talk about it right now.
Yeah, it's killing at the spirit and stuff, and I know those don't really matter, but like
he got AFI top 10, which I did not think it would get.
Me neither.
Those are more like populist list, more populist list, and it got that.
Exactly.
So there's a shot.
There's a shot. Well, there's a will, there's a way. But yeah, this movie just holy shit. It took me a while to get invested in this movie. I think I'm not one of those that was like sold off the jump. It took me a while.
The hot dogs line, Evan.
I felt so. It was bewildering. I was like, oh, this is the kind of movie that we're going for here. The tone is a very fine line. The definition of a fine line for
Todd Haynes, incredible job.
Where it's like it's not campy, but a lot of people were saying like it's funnier than I was expecting. Not for me. I didn't get
it's more of the awkward type of humor. Like you're laughing because it's so awkward and so
it's awkward and sad. This is one of the most sad movies I've seen all year. It's sad. It has an underlying sense of not dread, but just again sadness that just really permeates out this entire movie for especially Charles Melton's character, but also just the circumstances around it. I did not know what the story. I'm so happy I was not spoiled by the trailers. Yeah. I didn't see the trailers or like the story overall. I watched a review of this movie from Oscar Expert when it came out in not Sundance, but like Cannes. Thank God I didn't remember much of it because I was so taken aback by what the story was truly about, and I was like, oh, and it kind of really shook me to my core.
There's so many little choices in the. I won't obviously go in detail, but so many little choices by Julianne Moore, by Natalie Portman that like really just make you feel like unsettled and just really drive home the movie.
Exactly. All credit to the screenplay here, which is layered.
Sammy Birch, first screenplay too. This is a debut.
That's
crazy.
Yeah, I was just watching a screenplay video on Arcane, one of my favorite shows, and there's certain rules. They're like not rules, but just certain tenets of a good screenplay. And for this to be your first screenplay and to really combust and like take apart those kind of unique storytelling rules and add layers upon layers to another set of layers and layers that just unravel over the course of the movie, with each sense of dialogue really adding to who these characters are to their core. But they're hidden but not hidden dialogue, where they're said at face value, but there's a lot of meaning to it underneath it all. It's very hard to gauge here, but overall the screenplay just really, it's one of those movies where even if you're not like a film fan, you can really understand like, wow, the writing here was
really appreciate it. Yeah,
really and pretty impeccable here because
it balances so many tones and
exactly
so much.
It does so much for the characters, where what they say is what you get, and also there's a lot of meaning behind what they're saying as well.
A lot
of nuance. Like once like a character will say something, you're like, okay, that was odd, and then a scene in a future scene will make you think back about that older dialogue moment, and be like, oh.
Or okay. I don't know if you like. I didn't notice it when I was watching, but if you saw this on Twitter, but like the dress.
That dress, dude,
it blew my mind. Like I didn't even notice that.
I did. I paused. I was like this, listening to it.
Good.
And yeah, it's a fantastic movie. This jumped into my top 10 instantly.
It's climbing. Like I think it might go 5 stars for me if I rewatch it.
Did I see Saltburn this year? By the way, this month.
Oh, was that last month? Saltburn. It was this month.
Where's Saltburn?
Sickles. Let's go Sickles.
It's not in my diary.
That's what we end on.
But before we get to Saltburn, for some reason it's not in my diary, even though I did watch it this month. Sometimes I log stuff on Letterboxd and just doesn't hit my diary. I don't know why that happens. Let me see it. I saw Saltburn. I don't know. Where can I go to see my review? Never mind. I lost it.
Diary.
It's not in my diary. But I reviewed
Did you
this
review
movie.
it?
I thought I did. Fuck
See,
you,
they're
Letterboxd.
trying to get you to pay.
They're trying to get me to pay Letterboxd Pro. But
Oh
I
yeah,
saw
May December is phenomenal. I can't wait for you to watch it, Edgar. Then we could really dive into it.
Yeah, probably
It's
next
great.
week.
Yeah. Before we get to Saltburn, there's another little Netflix movie I watched. Rustin.
Yeah, please tell me what you think, man.
It's all right. It's pretty much a generic biopic by the numbers. It's fun. It's entertaining. I think the score is really good, but the real highlight of this movie is Coleman Domingo's lead performance. Like he's absolutely magnetic in this. He's the hype is real. Like he should be nominated. It's one of the best lead performances I've seen. He does so much, and I just love Coleman Domingo a lot, and I'm glad he's getting this recognition because he deserves it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I'm
that's
glad he
it.
finally has a bid. Like same with Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction. I'm glad he has a big leading role like this because he's like been one of my favorite supporting actors we've had recently.
That's great, dude. Yeah, I love Coleman Domingo. He kills it in every single thing he does.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't wait to watch Rustin. I might watch it this weekend if I have time, if my parents come over. It sounds like a good kind of family movie there.
You watched Naiad, right?
Yeah. Oh, I can understand Naiad. It's fine.
Yeah.
What I said was I respect the tale. The tale is very interesting tale. I kind of remember hearing about growing up in the periphery, especially.
See, I have no idea what this is even about.
I was looking at the dates and it came out. It's swimming from one location to another. I don't want to. No spoilers. It's from Cuba to Florida, basically. And this came out, or the story was around 2011. Or she first tried this in the 1990s. I wasn't born yet, but then 2011, I was around 15. And I remember hearing about that growing up throughout high school, and it was on the news and stuff. But then seeing this movie, seeing the deeper appreciation of what went through, I thought Annette Bening and Jodie Foster's chemistry was fantastic. They're really good in it. For me, though, I wasn't really emotionally connected to the film, unfortunately. I wasn't really connected to their journey of like, I have to do this. Especially, I think what's let down it is by the editing of the swimming sequences. It doesn't let you really sink into the swimming sequences. They really intersperse it with a lot of backstory with their character that I felt like doesn't really add overall to the movie. And then yeah, there's a lot of like jump cuts and like a lot of news footage stuff that doesn't really add much for me. I think they really just stuck to like her individual journey and the swimming and stuff. It was really cool. And also I admire the team effort. It was much more of a team effort than I originally thought. And all the supporting cast was pretty solid, especially the navigator was probably my favorite person in the movie.
Do you think there's any awards possibilities?
None. Yeah. And I'm shocked this was ever in the conversation. I mean, Annette Bening
people are still keeping it in the conversation for some reason. Annette
Bening is really good, but like Kaylee Spaney is better, and a lot of people are better, in my opinion, at least. I didn't see it as like. I guess there's some Oscar clips for her, but like I didn't really see it. It's a solid movie, solid Netflix movie. I don't see it as an Oscar potential for anything. It would have to be for the performances, and if that, the movie kind of really lets it down. And I think, given the lack of high reception, I think Naiad is dead and gone. But before we get into Saltburn, I rewatched some classic Godzilla monsters.
Godzilla. Yeah. Do you want to save that for next month?
We'll save it for next month. Yeah, okay. Even though there's a lot of movies I really want to talk about, we'll save it. I love -1. If you're watching this and you're like, should I see -1?
Go see it.
Watch it.
I didn't
talking to you.
love it as much as
Watch
you
it.
guys, but that store fucking bangs. It's one of the best stores of the year.
It's great. Watch -1. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. Top 7 of the year. I loved this movie. Yeah, I loved it. But I saw the Godzilla 54 film with Nathan. That was a great watch. The first Toho Godzilla movie. Excellent character work. Really understanding the craft, especially in 54. The devastation of Godzilla. And then Shin Godzilla in 2016. Loved it. It's another 5 out of 5 for me in terms of how it's a political thriller, natural disaster-esque movie with Godzilla. And seeing how modern Japan in 2016 struggled with like the threat and devastation of Godzilla told through the lens of, again, like a political thriller. There's a lot of like governmental meetings and discussions and human work that it was phenomenal. I just loved Shin Godzilla. The special effects there, the way Godzilla just evolved throughout the movie, excellent. So watch Shin Godzilla and watch Godzilla -1 and the original 54 film. It's like I'm really growing to have a bigger appreciation for what Toho has done with this entity over the years. So yeah, and then I think we can end off here.
We want to save Saltburn because we gotta go soon.
Gotta go.
Do we want to save it or do we want to talk about it just real quick?
Let's do it real quick. Because there's so many movies coming out this month or next month that I want to really dive into those movies. Saltburn, excellent. Just give me 2 minutes real quick. I think Saltburn for me is a movie that's crazy, weird, but I was utterly captivated from the very first scene. I couldn't take my eyes away from it. I think Barry Keoghan's character arc is one of my most favorite character arcs of the year. Seeing is this kind of character. I don't want to give anything away. But seeing
no spoilers for this one.
No spoilers whatsoever. Go in blind for Saltburn. It'll be, I think, on Amazon Prime Video by the end of the month, December.
Which is stupid.
If you can't catch it in theaters, watch it however way you can. But yeah, I think his character arc is so interesting and layered and just very captivating in terms of how he interacts with this family. How each individual member of the family has a different relationship with him, and how that evolves throughout the course of the movie. The movie is shot to perfection. You guys weren't kidding because you guys were like, Evan, this is the cinematography.
It's Linus Sandgren. Like the man's the goat at this point. It's so well shot.
So well shot. Every shot is like a painting. Every single one. I know that's cliche to say, but it's very true for this movie. Rosamund Pike, amazing. Barry Keoghan, amazing. Euphoria guy, who I'm forgetting again. Jacob
Elordi, fucking the hottest anyone's ever been in a movie.
They made him incredibly hot in this movie. Good job, Emerald Fennell. Great direction from her again. I love Promising a Woman. I think this is a great evolution of that. She was fantastic here. So yeah, I think overall direction, editing was very good too. And just the way this movie like evolves from the first act to the third act in ways I just did not expect. I think towards the middle of the movie, kind of got like an inkling of where this is going, but it kind of devolves into craziness in the best way. It's like it's controlled chaos. It's not like out of this world. It's not like it doesn't make sense or anything. I think it all matches pretty much with what you're seeing at the beginning of the movie, just in a new light that you just didn't realize. It's just pure magic. I love this movie.
All right, here's my thing with Saltburn. Loved it when I first saw it. I think it's incredible, or it was an incredible movie going experience. Obviously, like you said, the cinematography is some of the best of the year. I think Barry Keoghan is one of my favorite performances of the year. He's so fearless in this. Like a lot of people use that word, like just throw it around for performances, but I think it's legitimately fearless, especially that last scene. Like, oh my god. Rosamund Pike, Jake Elordi. I don't know the actress who plays his sister.
Oh yeah, she's great.
I forgot the character's name, but she's incredible. Richard E. Grant is hilarious in this movie. But I have this thing with Emerald Fennell movies where I like them at first, but then the shock value wears off, and I start to think, and like, I not some of it doesn't work for me as much. I think the twists are just for twist's sake and aren't the
Wow.
strongest. I think this is better than Promising Young Woman for sure. It's more of a assured, like stronger directorial effort, but I need to watch it again. But like with more thought, this movie starts to wear a bit for me.
Interesting.
Still
You
good.
go first.
Still good. I liked it more than Prophecy on a Woman, but yeah, still good.
Edgar, what do you think?
I've
You
already
kind of
seen
already
it.
talked about it last month. But
Yeah. I've already seen it twice, and I can see why some people would like see the movie from those lenses that like, oh, it feels like a twist for the twist's sake. But like after seeing it again, like there's a lot of like visual storytelling going on in this movie, especially like the usage of like reflections and water and mirrors, and how those visuals are only saved for like Barry Keoghan's character and nobody else in the movie. I think again, I get the criticisms, but like for me, this is one of those movies where like I can see the flaws, but I kind of don't give a shit. It's one of those movies like for me, like the vibes are just so fucking there. They're so like immaculate. Like every time that I've seen this movie now, like I'm just like swept away by the ride. Like I don't really like to think about it too much.
That's fair. Yeah, I get that.
I kind of, I don't know. I've only seen it once, but for me, the twists, it's not super twisty for me, right? I feel like all of it, and I gotta have to see it again, but it kind of makes sense given what we've seen from this character from the beginning of the movie and what they explained to us towards the end of the movie. It kind of makes sense to me, kind of adds up
The
towards the end.
montage is a little bit cheesy, I will say, but
Yeah,
it's good.
but I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. I think it's cheesy but necessary in a way. It's the kind of thing where you infer it, and without it, I would have been fine with it either because I'm smart enough to kind of infer it. But also with it, it's funny. It adds a comedic lens to what's very ominous and dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what it handles with in terms of obsession and greed and all that kind of stuff, it's very interesting, especially from Barry's lens.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I had a great time with it. I think I was just hypnotized. I think Emerald's
Definitely a
direction
really
from the
fun
very
like
beginning,
experience in theater.
it's a very
And
fun
that
experience.
last scene like is one of my favorites of the year. Like that needs the song,
Best
the
needle drop
performance,
of the
so
year.
good. Yeah.
I was clapping by the end of the movie. I was having a great time. The people
The
next to
last
me hated
shot
it.
with the
The Muppets. the
yeah.
thing, yeah.
So smart.
It was great. It was great. It's not for everybody, that's for sure, but it's great for me. I loved it. But yeah, there's a lot of movies coming out this December.
I think before we end, I just want to do a little check-in before we go into a month of catch-up and the last month of the year. Just a little letterbox check-in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I brought them up already, so let me do that.
Sweet.
We just
Yeah.
start with just your list, Evan.
That's me.
Give me 1 second.
There I am, Gary. There I am. But yeah, December has a lot, and I can't wait to talk about it with you guys in January because there's gonna be a lot of stuff to talk about. It's so weird.
No, this is Edgar's list actually.
I was like, I saw Maestro. Holy shit!
Iron Claw.
Maestro, very excited to talk about that next month. Obviously, as you see right here.
Yeah. Did you guys see that in theaters or? Oh yeah, of course you did.
Yeah.
Never mind. It hasn't come out on Netflix yet. But is it a theater movie or do I watch it on Netflix?
The sound design is incredible. So if you can find a theater screening, I'd say
Probably my favorite cinematography of the year.
that. Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, I
Beautiful.
might catch it. It just arrived in Cincinnati today or tomorrow.
Nice.
So I might go see
But
it.
yeah, Past Lives still number one, probably for all three of us. But
How many times have you seen it? Not for me. How many times have you seen it?
oh, okay.
Only once for me.
I've only seen it
I've
once.
seen it 3 times at this point.
I got the Blu-ray. I need to see it again. I loved it, but can it rise more? It's still in my top 3 or 4 of the year. But anyways.
Holdovers. Are you there? Dog, it's me, Margaret. It's in her top 10. I love that.
Yeah, you love that movie.
Strong. Holding strong.
I need to watch it again for sure.
Theater Camp. Funniest movie of the year still.
Theater Camp.
I'd say bottoms over Theater Camp, but they're both great.
Holdovers, Maestro. I can't wait. I saw your Iron Claw review, dude. I can't wait to watch
Yeah.
Iron Claw.
Officially, I can't say much, but the last line delivery of Zac Efron is so fucking good. I can't wait for
I
you
can't
guys.
wait. Mission Impossible still in the 16. Love to see it. Talk to me.
Here's for that high is weird.
We talked about that last time. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
It's good, Bob.
Nimona. Love Nimona.
Nimona. Reality?
Josh.
Evan, you need to watch that movie.
I need to watch Reality. Josh,
Yeah.
now that we've seen like Wish, Nimona has to make it in the top 5.
I think
Come
so.
on. Come
Especially
on.
with some everything's dropping. Like I can see it maybe.
Ooh, we didn't talk about Napoleon, but we can save it for December.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
We can say that
let's
for
save it for
December.
December,
I'll make a
yeah.
note of that for sure. Napoleon is crazy.
Did you like it, Evan?
I had a great time with it. I mean, not
Okay,
great.
good.
I think it's
I
very
know there's some of us
good.
that in our friend group that don't like it, but I had a blast.
I think it's very good. I probably won't see it again, but it's a very good, it was a very fun theater experience.
I'll watch
Yeah.
the 4-hour version.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. They clone Tyrone, yes. Royal Hotel, yes. It was a
Eileen.
great Royal Hotel poster. I love that.
You need to watch
Um,
Eileen, Evan. Now that's out.
It is in Cincinnati. That too is in Cincinnati. Oh boy.
All right, let's go to Evan's list.
There I am, Gary. There I am.
Spider's still number 1. Wow.
Fiverr's still number 1. Still number 1.
Let's go.
Like, oh, the Saltburn poster. Great. That's awesome.
Gotta
really cool.
show off the man
Gotta
right there.
show it off. I love the -1. My Godzilla -1 skyrocketed to my top 4 of the year.
That makes sense.
I love it. Suzume, Mission Impossible, which would be number 1 if it wasn't.
Suzume is on my list for catch up. I need to watch that for sure.
It's on Crunchyroll if you have a subscription. Saltburn, Holdovers, Talk to Me is still great. John Wick is incredible.
Killer's at 20.
Yeah. Should be higher.
It's around there for me.
Yeah. It's your number 20, isn't it?
I think it's lower on my list, honestly.
I believe it.
Theater Camp.
Polite Society also on my list. Need to watch that.
What a fun watch. That was really fun. I had a great time with Polite Society.
Priscilla.
And then the rest of the
Still
list.
that low. Wow, okay.
My top 30 is really good.
Out of what? Okay, out of
86.
almost 90. Okay.
Sound of Freedom.
Worst movie.
Horrible.
Wish.
Yeah.
That story of Sound of Freedom is still probably the funniest moment of the year of this podcast.
It's not
All
great.
right. Here's my
Boy in the Hair at number 2. I'm seeing it tomorrow. I'm so
yes, Evan. I can't wait.
Saturday. See it Saturday. So excited. Yeah, I can't wait to watch it. Miyazaki is back.
So good. Honestly, I did see it being number 1 eventually. It's like it's been drilling in my mind. That score is
That's
incredible.
great. You seen it twice now or once?
Once, but I'm gonna see it on Netflix for sure.
Sweet. Anatomy of Fall, number 3. Did that rise since last time we talked? Or
No, I haven't seen it last time we talked.
okay,
So
gotcha.
I wish Bottoms had better posters.
yeah, I mean the Fight Club, or the Breakfast Club, whatever it is. It's all right.
I have not seen Sanctuary. Let me add that to my list.
It's on Hulu now. It's phenomenal, incredibly fun.
I keep remembering to watch Sanctuary, but I keep forgetting to add it to a list. But
I'll talk about it more next month. But Passages also took me by surprise. That's much
on my list.
Worst person in the world coded.
Oh no!
It's very interesting to see how your ranking of Barbie has evolved throughout the year.
I know. I'm surprised. Like it's good, but I don't know. It's not the best.
Sight of the Snow. I want to watch that. Netflix, right? J.A. Boyana. Whatever.
It's one of the best like claustrophobic scenes I've seen.
I watched the OG film. What was it called? The original film about that story, the Andes Mountains.
This man was giving me shit for my Hunger Games placement, and he has it lower than me.
But you have it over stuff that like confuddles me.
Oh, you have it at 16.
Because I have Guardians at 5. I still fucking love that movie.
Dog Days scene is one of the best conclusions to any film this year.
Yeah, it's the best needle drop.
Second
Sorry,
best.
Saltburn. Holdover's a bit lower than he does.
Talk to me.
Wow, your
Carmen,
27. Your 26 to 30 list is banger.
This year was great, man. Yeah. Also, you guys need to watch Blackberry. That movie's
I do.
We'll talk about it next month, but Joaquin Phoenix in Boy is Afraid or Napoleon? What's best?
Oof. That's interesting. Yeah,
I think I'll go Napoleon just because he seems to be having more fun.
He's more pathetic. Well, he's pathetic in both, but Carmen also.
Fast
like,
X over the killer.
action.
That's great. Love
Yep.
to see it. Okay. Eileen,
Yeah,
yeah.
American
The
Fiction.
This is
was
a-
probably surprisingly low for you guys, American Fiction, but I think it was solid.
The
This
Marvels
is
over Scream 6,
Yeah.
Creed 3.
choice. It's crazy because I love all of these movies in the 40s for you, Josh. But it's been a strong year.
I know. Yeah, it's been such a great year. Cobwebs even fun. I didn't
Haunting
hate
in
Indiana
Venice slaps.
Jones.
Blue Beetle over
Yeah.
D&D.
D&D
Yeah.
rocks.
It
Yeah.
was all right.
Oh yeah, I saw Love at First Sight. That was fun.
Oh, I watched. I watched Fingernails. That movie. I just we talked about it more another time. What was it? It was
Quantumania last.
yeah, fucking awful.
I like it better than
All right.
Flash for me, at least.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But after wrap up, so
Take us out.
you guys are done.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Evan, where do people find you?
Find me on Twitter, Harris EV9. I'll be tweeting about the Game Awards in just a few minutes. I gotta make myself some
10
dinner.
minutes.
Kingdom Hearts 4?
I don't buy it.
Probably
but
not. Probably not.
anything to happen.
Let me put on
Rebirth
the crown
probably is
makeup,
more
baby.
likely. Rebirth.
Probably
the
some
new
Rebirth
trailer,
stuff.
yeah.
We're gonna get something Nomura related, maybe. But yeah, I'm always excited for the Game Awards because I play a lot of games these days. So yeah, that's it. Catching Boy and the Heron this weekend.
Ender.
You can find me not watching the Game Awards tonight. And yeah, you can find me at EDRTEG on finals on any social media, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, all the good stuff. I'll be reviewing the Ironclad in the coming week. Just waiting for that embargo to lift. And yeah, I'll be here for the next one. Maybe I don't know if you guys are gonna do another episode of That Indescribable Feeling, or maybe
Probably
a
next
commentary.
month. Probably January.
Yeah.
Feels right.
Probably
right
January.
before the Globes and wait, when are the Globes noms?
This month, right? Or is it January?
Shit. Okay. We'll probably do an episode before then, whenever it is.
Yeah.
Me, you can find me at Joshy Woodbury on Twitter and Letterboxd. You'd find the show on WHFG Podcast for updates and stuff. I'll be tweeting a lot about Boy and the Heron this past week because that movie's incredible. And yeah, Game Awards, fun stuff.
Yeah, Golden Globes are January 7th. The nominations are next Monday.
Fuck. Wait, this coming Monday or the Monday after?
December 11th, they say. But we can do it afterwards. We can break down the nomination. It's more fun to break down the
reaction. Probably. I'll film that.
It's more fun to break down the nominations than try to guess whatever the Golden Globes want to do these days.
Yeah.
The Martian Best Comedy.
Exactly, actually,
right.
Wait. What day is the 11th? The Monday?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. If you want to try, Evan, to not avoid Twitter, we could do reactions together.
Monday afternoon.
Yeah, maybe.
It'll be hard.
The time zones are weird, though. Yeah.
It'll be, I can't control myself. I probably can't control myself, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. Goodbye, everyone. See you soon.